All right, guys. Like I always say, start liking the live and start sharing. If you disagree with what I have on the board, go ahead and come on up, and we can go ahead and have a talk about it. I give everybody a few minutes to speak. We speak our mind, and we try to have a good conversation. All right. If you disagree with what I have on the board, please go ahead and come on up. We can definitely have that conversation. This will be the end of my politics week. Starting tomorrow, because I'll be on with Black Atheist Rants, it'll be my religion week. Let me head to the studio. So tomorrow, I'll be on with Black Atheist Rants around the same time, around 2:30. We'll be having a live on Christianity and Islam, since we don't believe that Black people should be Christian or Muslim. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow. All right, like I said, guys, if you disagree, go ahead and come on up. I do see all the questions in the thing, but I'm just gonna again invite you guys up because I might as well. I'd rather talk to you face to face than instead of us going back and forth in the comments. Because the moment you say something, I'm gonna have to explain, and then you're gonna have to explain, et cetera, et cetera. Just come on up. All right, let's see who was first. Vladimir, how's it going, Vladimir? And then Big Mac, I see you there too. We'll go ahead and have a talk in a second. Vladimir, I think, was up first. Vladimir, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And do you disagree with what I have on the board?
Yes. Yes.
All right, sure, cool. Yeah, I think leftist policies are better for society. Which policies do you think I'm talking about, or do you need me to explain which ones I mean?
Can I ask you a question which
Sure.
isn't 100% related to the prompt?
Sure.
Why do you believe Black people shouldn't be Christian?
Because it was the religion of our enslavers, and we can't prove it to be true.
It was a religion of a slaver. It was a religion of many nations. Christianity started from the Middle East, it spread in Africa, it spread in Europe.
How did it
And
spread in
only
Africa?
Western Europe was the section that
Hold on,
enslaved
my
Black
friend.
people.
Hold on, my friend. How did it spread in Africa, especially sub-Saharan Africa? How exactly did that happen?
To missionaries.
No, through slavery and colonialism.
No, I mean long before that. I mean before it spread into. I'm talking about
Before
in
Western
ancient
Africa,
times.
before Western Africa was Christian, what were they doing?
I'm not talking about that.
That's
I'm
what I'm
talking
talking
about
about.
the ancient times. I'm talking about Egypt. I'm talking about Ethiopia. That's what I'm talking about.
I
I'm
understand
talking about
that, but
Western Africa.
I understand that Egypt and Ethiopia had Christianity, and it got there through their kings converting. I understand that, but I'm talking about when it comes to sub-Saharan Africa, the vast majority of Africa got it through slavery and colonialism. Period. I understand that Egyptians, it got there through like one of the disciples, like Mark or some shit. But I'm not Egyptian, bro. My ancestors got it through slavery and colonialism. Period. So we should not be the religion of our enslavers and our colonizers. Why would we?
So
Why would I be?
just because the slavers happen to be Christian doesn't mean that you
Yes.
shouldn't follow
I don't think
Christianity.
we should be Muslim either. Even though Islam got through to Western Africa through trade, the Arabs also enslaved us. I don't think we should be Muslim either. Not only that, we can't even prove it to be true. So why should we be something that we can't even show to be true? Not only that, converting to these Abrahamic religions require us to abandon and denigrate our own spiritual heritage, and I see no reason for me to do that. Why should I abandon voodoo? Why should I abandon Bakanga? Why should I abandon any of that? Besides that, this is not one of those topics. We're talking about leftist policies. Do you think they're bad for
I
society?
understand. I wanted to ask you. I can leave. Thank you for the answer.
Cool. All right, Big Mac, how's it going, Big Mac? Are you at least 18, and did you disagree with what I have on the board?
Yes and yes. I just had to tell you something about Christianity. You said that it was the religion of the people who enslaved
It was
Africans.
all right. So why do you think leftist policies
um,
are better for are bad
can
for
I
society?
finish?
No. Why do you think leftist policies are bad for society?
Well, you were wrong.
I don't care. Why do you think leftist policies are bad for? This is not the
Well,
topic for
leftist
that.
policies are good for society because they're based off of religious and Christian values.
Leftist policies are good for society because they're based off of Christian values.
Yeah.
So leftist policies. You said okay. So leftism is based off Christianity. I mean, you can I guess you can claim that, sure.
Yeah.
Because yeah, we can say Jesus was a socialist. Yeah, sure.
Leftism isn't socialism.
Okay, but so leftism isn't socialism.
No.
What exactly is leftism? Because leftism starts at anti-capitalism.
Leftism is government. It's like the need for a government and government laws and government control.
That's not really leftism because any ideology
the
has government.
eradication of state law and the emphasization of government laws is the foundation of leftism. Today.
No, that's incorrect. That's incorrect. Because leftism starts at anti-capitalism. Every system of every political ideology has some form of governance. So saying that leftism is all about government is kind of dumb. Every ideology has some form of governance, unless you're talking about anarchism. Anarchism doesn't have any form of governance.
Leftism in America is the emphasization of government law and the eradication of state law.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Tell me how it's not.
Because just because you have some federal laws doesn't mean that the local laws no longer exist. Because leftism in America is all about some things that is all about basically moving away from capitalism. That doesn't mean that local laws won't exist anymore.
No, the emphasis like leftism in America, since we are a capitalist society, is still based in capitalism. It's not some different economic thing.
No, the economics would be socialism.
It just means on the left of the
economics will be socialism. Leftism starts at anti-capitalism. We want to move away from capitalism, and it also feeds into anti-racism. So there's two ways you can become a leftist: either anti-racism or anti-capitalism. Either one will lead to the other, right? So what leftism is all about is moving away from racism, moving away from capitalism, since they feed into each other. Right now, America itself does not have to be capitalist. It does not have to be racist, even though America was built on racism.
True, but the foundation of our Constitution gives every American rights. The only reason why certain people weren't given those rights is because people weren't following the Constitution.
No, it's because of racism.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But it's not. It's not racism based off of the founders. It's racism based off of the people.
No, it's racism based off the founders. Did the founders have slaves? Did the founders have slaves?
Some did.
Yeah. Okay. So they're racist. Did George Washington believe that black people and white people should have the same rights?
Okay, name me a single African country that was not built off of slave labor.
No, we're not talking about Africa. We're talking about America. I'm not doing that.
Nice deflection.
No, it's not deflection. You're the one who deflected. We're talking about America. You brought up Africa.
Answer my question.
I'm not doing that because we're not talking about Africa. We're talking about
America.
I'm
trying to make a point here.
You're the one who brought up Africa when we're talking about America. You're the one who deflected.
To a point.
Nope. You're the one who deflected. We're talking about America. We are talking about America, so that point is irrelevant. Irrelevant. That point is irrelevant. No, I'm not. That point is irrelevant. We are not talking about Africa. We are not talking about Africa. We're talking about America.
About slavery.
Okay. No. We were talking about America. We're talking about America, and I said that the Constitution. And I said, no, shut up. I said that the Constitution started. The Constitution did not include African Americans. You agree with that, right?
It's kind of.
Not even kind of. The Dred Scott decision said so. Even the 3/5 compromise said so. Even the fugitive slave clause said so. Black people were not considered citizens.
That was like way after the founding fathers.
And founding fathers were racist because you already admitted that they own slaves.
They said that every human has unalienable
So why then ban slavery?
Because they used it as a product.
Yeah, exactly. Slavery. So racism. What are we talking about here, bro?
You
can't bring up Africa
They
for
did
this.
enslave white people. What are you talking
No,
about?
they didn't. White people weren't enslaved in America. White people were not enslaved in America. No, they weren't.
It was that the African people sold those slaves. It was based
White people were not enslaved in America. Period.
It was based off of a misconception, but the African people sold their own slaves.
Irrelevant. White people were not enslaved in America. You said they were.
White people were enslaved.
No, they weren't.
Irish people were enslaved.
Irish were indentured servitude, not slavery. That was a slavery.
That's
As a matter of fact,
slavery.
no, it's not. Colonial laws actually said that indentured servants had rights.
You know what's funny?
Colonial laws said that indentured servants had rights. African slaves did not have rights in America. They were considered property. Indentured servants were not considered property. It was not the same.
They were still doing the exact same thing.
It was not the same, bro. An indentured servant can actually sue their tenant owner, and they can get out of there. And it was not. No, that was not habitual. If your mother or father was an indentured servant, that doesn't mean that you're an indentured servant. However, in slavery, if your mother and father was a slave, shut up. Shut up. The middle of my sentence did not interrupt the beginning of yours.
Tell me how many.
The middle of my sentence did not interrupt the beginning of yours. Shut the fuck up. So when it comes, shut up. So indentured servants were not slaves. It was not the same. They had human rights. Enslaved people did not have rights, because if you start off as an indentured servant, that doesn't mean that you were an indentured servant. Exactly. Fucking run like a bitch. Anyway, Beggar in the Black, are you at least 18? And do you disagree with what I have on the board?
Well, it depends. Are you gonna mute me or let me talk?
You can you can talk unless you start interrupting or being disruptive, and I can also interject because it's my stage. Now, are you gonna bitch or are you gonna answer the question?
It's a really great way to start the conversation. Are you gonna bitch?
Exactly, because no, you're the one who started off contentious. You're the one who came here.
So how is that contentious?
You're the one who came here.
You called me a bitch. How is that contentious?
All right, bro. All right. So, how do you say your name? Hate 3 Killer. HN3. I'm not gonna call you H. I'm not gonna call you HN3. Well, can I get a name, please?
Just call me HT.
All right, HT. Are you at least 18? And did you disagree with what I have on the board?
Yeah.
Great. What did you disagree? Why are leftist policies bad for society?
So I wanna know your position on abortion.
Yeah, a woman should have a right to do what she like with her own body. I think I get the cutoff at about 21, 22 weeks, because that's when I consider a human.
Well, the baby, it's its own body though. So when would you agree that life starts?
Life starts at conception. I don't have an issue with that. I'm talking about personhood.
So, all right, if life starts at conception, what species is that fetus or
human
embryo? It's human. So why does it not deserve human rights?
Because it's not a person.
Tell me your reasoning.
Because I give personhood when they have basically conscious experience, and that happens around 21 to 22 weeks. Before that,
so would you say
before that a zygote has no experience, so a zygote is not a person.
Okay.
Even you would agree that a zygote is not a person, because I can give you a scenario. If you have 1,000 zygotes in one room and a 3-month-old baby in another room, and the building is falling apart, which one are you going to save? The zygote or the 3-month-old baby?
Well, that's just a moral thing. I'd have a more moral connection to the person that's
exactly
a bit further into development. But that doesn't.
So zygotes aren't persons. So I don't get.
So all right, what you said is if it can't have a conscious experience, then it shouldn't deserve to live. So what about people in comas?
People in comas have conscious experience.
They have conscious experiences.
People in coma have conscious experience. Like there's been a massive studies on this, unless they're brain dead. But if they're in a coma, they can still have a conscious experience, because like their brain is still working. And not only that, it's been studied that they can still hear you and stuff like that. So they still have conscious experience. They're basically like in a sleep state, basically. But like sleeping doesn't mean you're completely like not conscious, like not sentient. You don't know, like you just there's nothing happening there. You still have an experience. Your brain is still working. Unless you're brain dead, then it's gone.
Well, what exactly do you mean by conscious experience? Because a newborn, they can have an experience, but they won't remember it. Like a fetus, I'm pretty sure they can have an experience.
They still have a conscious experience. They're not going to remember it, but you still have an experience.
Yeah, a fetus could have a conscious experience too.
Not before 21, 22 weeks.
Well, when they get aborted, they try to fight it off. That's not like an experience?
No, that's propaganda. That doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen. All right. So when would you say it's okay, when would you say it's okay to abort?
I will give my cutoff around 21, 22 weeks. Around that time, it's a little fuzzy between 21 and 22, but around that time, around 21, 22 weeks. Before that, there's no moral consideration for me. Like it's amoral. I don't say like right or wrong. It's basically just a choice you make. Like wearing a blue shirt isn't right or wrong. It's just a choice you make. You see what I'm saying? So before then, that's when I will be like, I'm fine with it. Also, anytime after that is only when the mother's life is in danger, or like there's a ectopic pregnancy. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but the type of pregnancy where they're born outside of the fallopian tubes, which means it could kill the mother. So around those times, I would say after that.
But if it's endangering the mother, it's still moral to try to save both lives with the cesarean section.
Sometimes it's not possible. So
most of the time with modern medicine, I mean 100% of the time actually with medicine and the cesarean section, you could try to save both lives. But in those very rare cases,
you can try to save both lives. If you can save both lives, save both lives. I'm not against that. But if you can only save one, I'm probably going to prioritize the mother.
Okay, so what was the cutoff between 19 month and a 19 week and a 20 week or 21? Like what makes you decide
that's when
it's a life?
That's when
it's not.
That's when it's a life. I'm talking about conscious experience. That's when the brain develops and you can that's when they're actually having their own personhood, their own conscious experience. So I do it around that time. Let's say this, right? We can go back and forth on this all day. Instead of making abortion illegal, how come we just don't put in policies that will make it happen less? Let's say I give it to you, right? Let's say abortion is immoral, it's wrong, et cetera, et cetera. How come we just don't put in policies to help make sure that it happens less? Like better education system, more reproductive, like what was that thing called again? Damn it! What I'm looking for? Contraceptives. I'm sorry, contraceptives. Make those more readily available. Better sex education. That would make abortions happen less. Instead of us going back and forth on one is life, one is person, yada yada yada. We can disagree on that all day. We're not going to get anywhere. Why not just make if we both agree to have less abortions, let's put in policies to have less abortions. Why not that? And that's where leftist policies come from. If you want less abortions, you should support leftist policies.
Well, there should be no abortions, in my opinion.
Then you should support leftist policies.
Well, no, because I want it completely banned. Other than with the small exception of if it's completely endangering the life of the mother.
What about rape and incest?
I still think it deserves life.
So you think a 12-year-old who got raped by her uncle should have the baby?
Yeah, that is my view.
That's horrifying.
Well, it's just like
that's pretty fucking horrifying, bro. A 12-year-old got raped by her uncle, and she should have that baby. That's pretty fucking terrifying. That's.
Well, I don't think the baby should be killed or not. Well,
again, most abortions happen before they even have a conscious experience. It's a zygote. Something there.
May I chime in, host?
No,
would that be okay?
Not yet. It's a zygote. There's nothing there. There's a timer here, guys. So there's a timer.
It's just the time of development. It's still a human life. Like so it should have human rights.
No, not necessarily.
Like, no, well, it should. I mean, also, I give consideration to human life. Like, I'm not completely
like saying, you know, fuck them, right? Not, that's they can still have human rights. Like I get you on that part, right? But whose right supersedes the other? I say the mother right supersedes the zygote.
Well, the line is, if another person's gonna die, if that person is not gonna die, then there's no point from eliminating the baby.
I have no issue what you're saying. What say that again?
So I said, the only time where it's okay is where if it's going to like kill the mom.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not going to do that, there's no reason why you should kill the baby.
A zygote isn't a baby, bro.
Well, yes, it is.
It's not.
So
it's definitionally not.
Well, it's a human, just in early stages.
It's a human clump of cells. Yes, I agree with you. There is a human clump of cells.
Well, you're a human clump of cells.
Yes, I am.
So how does that? I
have a conscious experience. I can talk to you, can I?
Okay, so all right, you think there's people not out? You think there's no people outside of the womb that don't have conscious experience?
If they're brain dead, they're not having a conscious experience at that point.
Well, you don't have to be completely brain dead to not have a conscious experience.
When is the time when is the time that you're alive and not having a conscious experience?
If you're in a coma.
People in a coma have conscious experience. You can talk to people in a coma and they can remember it. They have a conscious experience, bro.
So how do you not know that's not happening for a baby?
Because they don't have the brain capacity for it. The zygotes and fetuses before 21 weeks don't have that.
Well, no, but people in comas, you think they have a conscious experience?
Yes, you can still talk to them. The brain is still working.
All right, well, let's say if they're in a coma and they don't have a conscious experience.
So they're brain dead?
I guess.
Unplug them. I've had to make this decision before. When I was young, my grandmother was brain dead, and me and my family had to unplug her. She was gone.
No, all right. Well, even though it's just the stage of life. I think it it's just like that early stage of life. It should
You think that they should leave it alone? Yes. Okay. Cool. That's all good and well. Why not just leave it up to the couple or leave it up to the woman? They should talk about it. I think me and you would agree.
Because I think you would agree. Right.
Fine. I don't think murder is good either. But murder is an unjustified killing. Right now, you think that this would be unjustified, but that's not up to you. That's up to the woman or up to the family. It's okay. That's just your opinion, bro.
All right, wait. What makes it justified?
It makes it justified if it's a 12-year-old who got raped by her uncle. That's 100% justified. It's 100% justified if it's a grown woman and she got raped. It's 100% justified if it's a 19-year-old and she cannot take care of this baby. She cannot do it. It's completely justified.
No, well, it's not justified because what does the baby have to do anything with that? It doesn't deserve to be killed. Just for the
zygotes and fetuses before 21 weeks aren't babies, bro. Zygotes are not babies, bro. I'm sorry. They're not.
Well, they're humans.
No, they're not. It's a clump of cells, bro.
They're not humans.
Zygotes.
You literally said
zygotes are a clump of human cells. So and besides, it's not up to you to justify any of this. It's up to the people who are in the situation.
Well, no.
Again. If you don't want abortions to happen, you should support the policies that make them less, shouldn't you?
No, I should support the policies that completely remove it.
And that's going to increase the illegal ones, wouldn't it?
well, what? That you can't control the people who are just going to do it illegally.
Exactly. So that means that if it's going to happen illegally, it does make sense. It does make sense. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. It does make sense. It does make sense because if you make it illegal and people are going to do it the illegal way, you're going to put more women in danger. So why would you put more women in danger?
Dude, that completely doesn't make sense. If the weed was legal,
I need you to answer my question. If you make it illegal, people will do it the illegal way. We've seen it happen not only back in the days, but even in modern times. Countries who make it illegal have an upshoot of illegal abortions, and it puts women in danger.
that doesn't make sense because what?
Yeah, so half the babies being aborted are. So how are you putting more?
Hold on, sorry, I
women
didn't hear you. Everybody pause real quick. Sorry about that. My mic went out. I didn't hear you.
So that point doesn't make sense at all because if weed was legal and it turned illegal, obviously there's going to be an upspring of people doing it illegally. That's literally just common sense, and that doesn't add anything to the argument because it doesn't.
Weed does not put people in. Well, it depends on what you're doing, but yeah, exactly. This is one of the reasons why they made weed more legal in order for people to be safer. That's exactly the reason why they did that.
Yeah, well, I just said just completely disproved that point where it should be legal because people are going to do it illegally. That's
not what I said. That's not what I said.
Could I chime in?
What
now?
I said. Hold on. Give me a second. Yeah, his time is up. But give me 1 second. What I'm trying to say is that when it comes to the situation, whenever they made abortions illegal, that increased the rates of not only legal abortions and back alley abortions, but it put women in danger. Weed doesn't necessarily put people in danger because most potheads are just doing it at home, unless they drive or some shit. Hold on. Most potheads aren't putting people in danger, just at home smoking weed. But when it comes to back alley abortions, those actually kill people. So instead of putting women in danger and killing them, why not just put in policies so we make sure that if it does happen, it happens safely and it happens less often? Why not just do that?
It's not safe for the baby. Well, this
I go to our babies, bro. All right, man. All right. Go ahead. Trump Prophet. All right. So Prophet, thank you for joining. Give me 1 second. Not a problem. Give me 1 second. All right. So everybody who's watching me over on Volsy Thoughts, I appreciate you for watching me over on there. Thank y'all so much. If you would like to join in, the link is right here in the description. I put the link in the description and it's in the comments. It's pinned in the comments. Go to tiny.cc/Volsy Live. You'll be able to join me and talk to me live. And if you're watching me over from the Deconstruction Junction, same thing. tiny.cc/Volsy Live. You can go ahead and join me there. And if you're here on TikTok and would like to support me, I do have a give goal. I'm going to go ahead and put that up. You can support me with the give goal, and you can also subscribe to me. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all for being here. We are now going to talk to Trump Prophet. Oh, also don't forget, if you are a Black atheist, agnostic, skeptic, or humanist, we are having an in real life event coming the second week of June. I'll appreciate anybody who would like to come out. All right, let's talk to Trump Prophet. Trump Prophet. Well, I'm not going to call you Trump Prophet all the time.
Whatever Prophet. Call me whatever you like.
So you Prophet. How's it going, Prophet? Are you at least
it's going
18?
Well. And I'm 43.
Cool. Did you disagree?
And I wanted to speak about the zeitgeist, not the zygote. But I did want to mention very briefly that there are ways of stopping it if we really wanted to. You could stop it absolutely legally. You could make the punishment so horrific that no one would even dare think about contemplating it. That you could do that if you wanted. There are ways of stopping things. But would we have the will to do that is the question. But you can't stop anything you'd like. You can force anything you'd like. It's a question of where you're willing to go and how far you're willing to go. I just wanted to make that point.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can force people to be segregated too, but why would we do that?
Well, I mean, if you were to, I'm not going to even list but certain punishments. But if you look back in history, you could find one or two punishments that are so terrible, no one would even contemplate performing that procedure. They wouldn't touch it with the barge pole.
Yeah, I don't think we should. I don't think our society should do that because for
the sake of argument, I just wanted to say that there are ways of doing things. But I wanted to speak about the zeitgeist, if I could. And I think the zeitgeist right now is one of moving back to a mood of national survival. Thank God. And I think that liberalism is on the way out. Is an ideology. I think it's been proven bankrupt, and I think it's been proven false. And I think people are now ready for a more vigorous, substantive answer to our problems.
That doesn't really tell me anything. That's kind of just.
I'm diving right into that right now. I just wanted to preface that very briefly. Let's take a look at the world. Let's get on to basics. Go outside your door. Look at nature. The liberal believes fundamentally, and you could, if I'm wrong, let me know, that fundamentally that nature is a sort of harmonious environment where everything is in a balance, homeostasis, if you want to call it that. And in this balance, humans are the negative effect. We throw things out of balance. We're a negative effect on the environment. Is that an inaccurate portrayal of?
Yes.
Oh, so how is it inaccurate?
It's not that humans are a negative effect. Is that humans can cause negative effects, and we should go ahead and mitigate that as much as possible.
All right, but as far as the natural world is concerned, you would say it exists in a sort of balance, which is preferable. That we should not disturb this balance that it's in, and the less human impact, the better. Would that be a fair characterization?
Yeah, the less human impact we have on the environment, the better. As a matter of fact, a lot of leftists are saying that humans are a part of nature, so we should try to exist within it in balance.
See, I would say we're not a part of nature. And if we look at nature, we would see that nature is a world of claw and fang. There's nothing at all admirable about the natural world. It's a horrible, cruel, terrible place. There has not been one instance of time. Is it Volsi? May I call you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Volsi, that from the beginning of time where one organism has not been tearing another apart without mercy, without end, without compassion. And humans, on the contrary, are the only creatures that do show compassion. And we are, although we have brighter moments and darker moments, we're turning the world into a garden, a well-ordered garden. So I mean, from
Am I
that
allowed
base,
to interject
Yeah, give me a second.
when I want to?
Yeah, give me a second. All right. So,
well, you didn't let me interject, host.
No. I'm sorry, Prof. Just give me a second. I know that's why I told him. That's why I told JD. Give me a second. All right. So when it comes to all this, right, it's extremely human centric. Number one is just wrong. There are other animals that do show compassion, and they're typically social animals because once you're a social animal, which humans are, you have to survive, and it's better to survive with other members of your species if you have some sort of empathy or emotion or compassion for them, right?
But compassion is premeditated.
And we see that
consciousness.
We see that with all social animals, right?
No, that's not true. You need consciousness for compassion. It's a uniquely human attribute.
You're saying that the animals don't have consciousness?
Yeah, no, they don't. Clearly,
what do you think consciousness is?
Consciousness is the ability to know that I think, therefore I am, basically.
Like self-awareness.
Yeah, there's been no animal that's been proven to have definitive self-awareness.
Dolphins have self-awareness. Chimpanzees have self-awareness. Gorillas have self-awareness. Even elephants have self-awareness. There are some breeds of cats that have self-awareness.
Granted, they're highly intelligent animals, but they do not have consciousness as we do.
They don't have
it's a matter of
we're not sure actually about that because humans can do more abstract things and communicate because we develop language. We can communicate differently, but animals do have self-awareness and they do learn.
Fair enough. I mean, I think that animals are probably a lot smarter than we think, and the science will reveal that in the future. Maybe even plants have a sort of intelligence. I'm not going to argue that. What I'm trying to argue is that compassion is uniquely human. So maybe the better argument would be that our compassion is not replicated in the animal kingdom. I've never seen dogs go out of their way to donate, like a deer they got to other packs of dogs. That takes forethought. It takes, procedure. It takes humans, basically.
That's what
now humans.
Wolves do that. Wolves do that.
Well, I don't think you can compare wolves to a food mission. But at the same time, humans also are uniquely cruel. I would say animals are not cruel, although they may do things that seem cruel. Only humans can be really cruel because we apply that forethought to it that gives us compassion. So all of this to say, how does liberalism fit in this argument? Because the liberal and a mistaken view of the world is that the animal kingdom is good, that nature is good. That if we only knew how good nature was, we would not disturb the balance, and we would just we would try to minimize it, and we'd try to just live in harmony with nature. That's fundamentally flawed because, as we've just said, the world is a world of claw and fang. If you go out into the jungle, you'll get killed. That's it, or you'll get unalive.
I mean, the thing is about all of this that yes, danger exists. Yes, there are predators out there, and I'm not talking about predators in the Epstein way. I'm talking about predators in the lion going after a wildebeest way because they have to survive that way. Yeah, sure, that is a thing, right? And that's also a part of nature. That's also cool and a part of nature. What leftism comes from is that what is the impact we're having on the environment? Are we causing mass extinctions? Yes, we cause mass extinction of animals. For example, the white rhinoceros right now is functionally extinct, and that happens because
a mass extinction. That's an extinction. That's an extinction, not a mass extinction.
It's not a mass extinction.
All life on the planet.
It is an extinction. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, we
we do it all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So these are and what impact does that have towards the environment, right? So these are things that leftists look at and say, humans can have a negative impact on the environment. Let's try to mitigate it. Let's try to do certain things or have certain policies or have certain rules and behavior where we don't ruin the environment, because ruining the environment will also ruin us. If we're dumping a bunch of oil into the river, that's going to fuck us up, right? Because we're going to drink out of this.
I know, but
so that's what I'm saying is
Sure.
that's what leftism is all about. It's not saying that humans suck. We're going to live in hippie communes. Of course, the hippies did that. Of course, the hippies did that, right? But that wasn't a hey, stay on mute, please. Of course, the hippies did that, but that's not necessarily.
If you'll just let me, please.
All of leftism.
I'm building to something. I'm not trying to dodge your question at all. I don't want to get into the environmental angle of it too much, but I'd be happy to argue with you, because I think we have a totally negligible impact on the environment compared to natural events. But my reason for bringing all this up is that if you have someone with that view, they're going to lead entire countries to failure, because countries are a process of this horrible claw and fang world. There is no such thing as international relations. There is no such thing as friends in other countries. Each country is in it for themselves. Until such time as one country is able to master the globe finally, then set up a kind of order, there is no international law. And the idea,
Hey, Prophet, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You ever heard the saying that there are no permanent friends or no permanent enemies, only permanent interests?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think leftists don't know that?
I think many don't. Look at Greta Thunberg. She has no clue about that. She's completely insane. You seem like a very pragmatic fellow. I'm not saying you don't acknowledge that, but there's a huge swath of the left that doesn't.
No, that's wrong. We know about
look at their marches. Their points are just inane. Isn't it?
We know about international international partnership and things like that. Because hold on, we know about international pressure, international friends, and international relations. And the perfect example I could give you is the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers went around internationally. They went to Africa, they went to Palestine, they went everywhere, and they knew that they had certain interests that other groups didn't have. They were all about, uplifting marginalized people from around the world.
Amen. But I would say that's a nationalistic group by definition, and they're not a liberal group.
They are.
I do not think
nationalistic. But
I have a lot of respect for them.
The Panthers were MLs. They're Marxist Leninists.
Yeah, but they weren't. I'm talking about. I meant liberalism was my critique here today. Modern American liberalism and the kind of soft left view that most Democrats subscribe to. I'm not saying that leftism. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I guess I'm beating an unalive horse here. That is. Darn it.
Yeah.
You stole my thunder there.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah, darn it.
Can we respond?
Oh yeah, my bad. Hey JD, you want to respond a while ago? I'm sorry. I just want to see where me and Prophet were at.
Darn it. I'm sorry, man.
All good. JD, go ahead. I do apologize. So hold on. I'm sorry, JD. Give me 1 second. All right, George, I'm gonna get to you right after we're done with Prophet and JD, and then Meme Guy, I'm gonna get to you right after I'm done with George. All right. For everyone who would like to talk to me again, the link is tiny.cc/VolcyLive. It's in the description of each of the lives and the videos. You guys can go ahead and join there. JD, go ahead. I'm gonna put the timer again in about 7 minutes because I know George and Meme Guy want to talk. Go ahead, JD. What was your question and what you want to say?
Okay, so yeah, I just had to say I disagree with every assertion he's made so far.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
His points about us not being able to resonate with nature makes no sense. When you look at the things that actually have driven the destruction of the human race, they are all natural things. For example, you said we live in a claw world or whatever.
World of claw and fang, yeah.
We all fight for resources every day. That's what countries do. That's what they always do. That's what animals do. So that is completely natural. So
that was my point, though.
I feel like what are you getting at with the?
So I would say that's a realistic view of the world. Modern liberals would not agree with that. They'd say we have a new international order, that history's over, as Francis Fukuyama once said, that we have a kind of new world order where everything is going to be just free trade and happiness forever, and that there's going to be no basic criminality or anything like that anymore. I think that's the kind of view I'm arguing against.
I just don't think that's the view that modern
Democrats have or liberals hold. Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't believe that's true. It's just it doesn't make sense.
At least not the ones I've spoken to. Like I follow a few. I don't know if you know who Isaiah Martin is, but I could tell he doesn't think that anyway. And I have helped like in my local areas. I have helped representatives get into office, like city council and state representatives, they don't believe that either, and they were Democrats.
Well, yeah, I don't think you can deny on the international stage, on the national stage, every Democrat politician I've ever heard subscribes to this position, from Ms. Harris to Ms. Clinton to Mr. Biden to Mr. Obama. They all have this belief in neoliberalism. That's the term for it, neoliberalism.
Yeah, neoliberalism.
That's not true.
I'm sorry,
That's
Jesse,
also incorrect. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, yeah, neoliberalism is a thing, right? But neoliberalism is not about, there's an international order and we all be friends and kumbaya. It's not really about that. It's really about just kind of like, a new wave of capitalism, to tell you the truth. But JD, I interrupted you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I just feel like the claims he's making, I can't say that you're a general source of knowledge, because even the examples you mentioned of Miss Clinton, she's not even a neoliberal. If anything, she's a centrist. No, she's not. She was a large proponent.
Wait, I'm sorry.
She was a large proponent of war, which is not neoliberalism.
Yes, it is. Neoliberalism
No, it's
believes
not.
in certain. Yes,
how are you going to say that you want to establish an order, but then also say that they promote war? It makes
because
no
they
sense.
believe neoliberals.
You just said that you made a statement that liberals, they want free trade. How do we want free trade and we also want war? Isn't that what Trump's doing? Isn't he attracting free trade?
No, he has a realistic view.
He's
taking the places for plunder is what he's doing, and that's the realistic view, that we should take places and plunder them. Why would you start a tariff war
with China? We can't plunder China. They have
more
resources
we can.
Than
we did,
us.
but
no, we can't.
Again, we've never won a war. This is the
problem with the right-wing view. You think we can just come in and take what we want? Like, it will never happen like that. It won't.
China has an abysmal military history. Abysmal.
You were speaking actual facts, JD.
I'm sorry, because it makes no sense. They have the largest amount of infrastructure to be able to
name a war that China won.
They have the most factory infrastructure right now. We don't have
name a war
that into a long-term war with anybody.
Can you name a war that China won?
Exactly. China's one of the few countries that's never like.
Hey, I'm sorry, Damien. I got you, but it was JD
no,
here.
You're right. I'm sorry.
If we're talking about the reliability of China throughout history, they are the oldest civilization. You don't get that way if people are
name a war that China won.
Name a war we've won in modern history.
World War II, World War I.
That's 100 years ago.
I just wanted to make it. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Hey, I appreciate you being here, Damien. Just give me 1 second. All right, I do appreciate you. All right. When it comes to name a war that China won, I want to make sure. No, all good. I want to make sure. Back in 1962. The Sino-Indian War. I think that's the last one, but I don't think they've been in war since then. But that's the one that I will name. I just want to make sure that I was correct on that.
By any standard, that's a very small border conflict. I mean, there were not hundreds of thousands of people in life. You're right about that. Well, but I'm speaking of major wars, like major exercises in power. You're right. They also won a war, I think, against Vietnam. Or they lost Vietnam, actually, I believe.
Yeah, so did we. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I understand what you mean, though. Those that are huge, major conflicts, like what we see with Russia and Ukraine at the moment. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In that regard,
I think the last one that happened was the Chinese Civil War, when the communists beat the nationalists. But
the nationalists fled to Taiwan.
Let me say this real quick, bro. Like, everything is controlled by Israel. It doesn't matter, right?
Come on.
Yeah, I got you, meme guy. We'll talk later. So JD, go ahead, and Damien, I know you're
but let me say this. Okay, so you're pointing to the past as if that's like a future indicator of success in our global military
seems to work most
power.
Of the time.
How is that true?
Future events are based on past events. It's just that's how it works.
We live in a completely different landscape than the world that we lived in World War II. And we can see that with military operations that we've tried to do in the Middle East that have not worked. Like when Donald Trump just tried to take out the nuclear payloads,
you're
and
incorrect.
He couldn't do that.
America's problem isn't.
We saw that.
America's problem is not beating the countries; it's maintaining the occupation. That's the problem. We went through Iraq like a hot knife through butter. We went through Afghanistan like a hot knife through butter. Edom, we're doing it in Iran. But we lack, and Trump doesn't lack this, by the way. What we lack is the ability to make it stick by using policies that will keep them ours. Because we have this stupid woolly-headed idea that of democracy, liberalism, that we want to have these equitable systems. No, we should go in there, crush the dissent, and make them never forget what it's like to be crushed.
This is the problem. This is the actual problem.
Prophet,
you were just talking about a claw and fang world being a natural order, but if we want to have a civilized society, then we can't use that same logic because, as you said, animals don't show compassion. This is the problem with the right wing. I'm
not arguing
we should crush everybody.
I'm not arguing that we should show compassion.
All right, but what? But
how are you saying that we should show compassion by saying we should crush dissent?
All right, so
I never said we should. Sorry.
All right, so this is what I'm not understanding, because like what JD is saying is correct, right? You're saying that human beings can be very negative towards each other, and we can be unimaginably cruel, but we can also be unimaginably compassionate with each other. But you're also advocating for us to go into the Middle East and cause the deaths of millions of people and children for
I never said that. I never said that. I said there's ways I said we need to make the occupation stick. But admittedly, many people would be hurt in such an event.
Exactly. So why should we do that? Why should we occupy these lands?
We need the resources.
Well, okay, so why don't we just talk to these people and trade with them on an equal basis instead of trying to be conquerors?
That is the key question, because you can never depend on them to give you what you want if you're negotiating. You can always depend on it if they're in a subjugated position.
You want to be a colonizer again?
There's no choice but to do that.
No, there is a choice but to do that.
This is the problem with them.
Yeah,
they never learn.
But Prophet,
we colonize, take, and all we do is end up destroying.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we've always done.
Prophet, like,
so why not change or shift your mindset from that? Where are the Native Americans at today?
They lost. Dead. They weren't tough. They weren't tough as the.
What do you mean they lost?
They
well, not militarily. Or disease, I guess.
Disease and pillage.
Wait, everybody pause. Here's what I'm saying, Prophet. What you're saying has always led to death and destruction of people groups, and you're saying that we should do that because we need things. That's insane.
What I'm saying is there's always going to be death and destruction of people groups. However, we need it at the same time.
Hold on.
I can't.
Yeah, meme guy.
But at the same time, sure.
Yeah. All right. So I understand that there's always going to be war, but why shouldn't we aim for a world where there's less war as possible? Let's try to aim for that.
I am saying that. But we need to do it by us being in charge.
I'm saying that colonization doesn't do that.
Total control of the world.
No, it doesn't do that, because if you're in total control of the world, there'll always be rebellions. People are not going to.
Well, there'll always be a few, but by and large, you can make it a much more peaceful place.
But the only way to do that is to cause death and destruction, and the only way to subjugate people, and the only way to keep the peace is to subjugate people and keep them in oppression. People don't agree with oppression, bro. So why would we not work to live in harmony instead of trying to be the world's policeman and subjugate everyone to be kings of the world?
I'm not talking about the policeman.
Exactly.
If we want to keep our standard of living, or at least what's left of it, then we don't have a choice. The debt is an insurmountable, insuperable problem. There is no way domestically our politicians have the guts or the wherewithal to even begin tackling the debt, which is going to explode very shortly. And so in that kind of situation, because why would they?
Trump.
No, he has a part to play in it for sure.
Wars make that worse. Wars makes exactly what you're saying worse.
Well, hold on. A war of nation building does, but a war of plunder doesn't. The one thing we're missing in all these wars we've been fighting is the plunder that comes after the war.
So, Prophet, we've already been through a world where plunder was normal, and it spread diseases. It caused toxic ideologies. It spread environmental disasters. What you're saying has always led to horrible worlds, and you're saying that we should do it again?
I'm saying the world is a horrible place no matter what. And if we want to keep the modicum of peace and safety that we have to better be prepared to roll up our sleeves, because it's going to end in tears if we don't.
We don't have to do that, bro. We can just work with other humans and try to work for a better world while we kill everybody else. That makes no sense.
Because I never said kill everybody else, host.
Subjugating and colonizing is killing other people, bro.
No, I didn't. I said they should tremble in fear.
Being oppressors.
You said to crush dissent.
Crush dissent doesn't mean unaliving people.
We're just
How do you
lying
think it's
now.
going to happen?
How do you think
Yes, it
we
By
does.
giving them an example of something that's totally horrific and would
So
make
kill
them never
people?
want to commit any. No, you could do things to their brains.
What
Kill?
the fuck?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, can I add on to what
You could
Trump-
like cause
Can
them
I
to
add
have a
on to
fear
what he
reaction.
said before he
These
pivots
people
again?
are sick.
That's just sick. All
Because
right,
he
so
literally justified the Native Americans because he said they weren't tough enough. He
yeah,
literally said the Native Americans were justified because they weren't tough, bro.
And
They
it's,
put up a
You
good
got an
fight, but it didn't do
imperialistic
much.
mindset, man.
it's worse.
this
It's
is
worse
insane,
because
bro.
that's not even the case.
Hold
The
on.
Native Americans didn't lose because they weren't tough. It makes no
Well,
like that argument
Cortez
makes
would have
You,
zero
something
you
to
don't
sense.
say
understand
about
how
that.
big the world is,
Let me just,
Trump, man.
I really have to state my case because this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like the
JD, go
things he
ahead.
believed just completely go
No,
against
JD,
everything
you are cooking
that's
this,
correct.
man, JD. I'm
Bro,
gonna follow you.
No, yeah, I agree with JD.
Oh, good for you.
every single thing you've said
Low key,
is the
man.
opposite of what we should be doing. If
Well,
you look at
all
the
right.
thing, if you look at the things we've done in the past to create the world up to this point, you can point back to the Reagan. You can point back to the Reagan era
No,
when
you
he
can't.
decided to completely lower taxes on the 1%, which in turn destroy the conditions of all social safety nets in America.
The story goes back much further than that. It goes much.
It doesn't,
much
because
further.
that's when he
Yes,
established.
it does.
No, it doesn't. It really
It
goes back to the
day
gold
one of
standard
time.
and to the Reagan era.
We need to actually look at the big picture. I know Americans are very myopic, but we need to
You're
look
not looking at
outside
the
the
big
scope
picture.
of American history to what came before to
I don't
So
understand.
even know how to look at the big
look
picture,
back at
bro.
history then make the same decisions that led us to our destruction now? How do you
Because
look
there-
back at history
because the idea-
and not
this-
learn from your past mistakes?
One of the singular liberal ideas, which I would argue against, is the idea of progress. That humanity starts in a bad place and is moving to a better place. History is not progressive. It is
Yes, it
cyclical.
is.
It is cyclical. It goes in cycles. There is no escaping the cycle of the world's history. The Hindus realize
Oh
this
my
well. They
God.
call it samsara, the whirlpool. If you actually look at history, history goes from a monarchy, a monarchical form, to an aristocratic form, to a democratic form, and then back again. It cycles through them all, and there is no escaping the wheel
You're
of history.
saying this to justify
You're
your
wrong.
warmongering, bro.
You're wrong.
That's what
I'm
this
not.
is for. This is
You
justification so
are.
that you can warmonger
History proves
and
me right.
attack other people.
No, it
That's
Blah, blah,
exactly
blah.
what
Damien,
that
you're making no
theory
points,
is.
man.
All right,
You
everybody pause real quick.
No, I'm
history-
making a very clear point. You've been talking about so much colonization and just the
Blah, blah,
fact
blah.
that we have the justification to attack and plunder other people, and you just tried to justify
We
that
don't
for
have
the
just have the
third time,
justification.
saying that
It's a
No.
necessity.
saying that we're just
No,
a
you're
whirlpool,
incorrect.
that
It's
we
not
go
a
back
necessity.
to this. We don't go back to it. This,
Yeah, we do.
our entire history
No.
has been evolution and
Our
progress.
history is a
United.
drop
Do
in
you
the
Think
bucket.
realize? Do
that
you realize
progress doesn't
we're
exist?
at a
When
completely
just in
different point, right?
2020 to 2024, we've already seen a change in the last 2 years from that.
What about year
You've
zero
seen,
to
you've
now?
been living in the
You
last
need to
year
look a
and a
little
half. We
back.
can
Look
clearly
further, a
see
little
how that
back.
progress has changed. No, you need to look at the whole thing. We are
Dude,
not
you
living
have
in
no
year
idea what
zero.
you're
We are
talking
living
about.
Hold on.
in
Let me. Can
the
let me finish
Biden
my statement?
presidency
I'm
all the
gonna
way
say
to the
one
Trump
thing.
presidency. That's where we are at now.
I got you.
We are
Everybody
with
pause real quick.
this
Everybody pause.
one man
I got you.
right
Pause real
here,
quick.
bro.
Damien, I'm sorry.
You
Just
can't
pause me
go
real quick.
back.
I'm sorry. Just
He's
pause
been
me real quick.
imbibing today, I think.
I got you.
See,
Pause me real quick. JD, I know you.
This is what I mean. He says so many contradictory statements.
Name one.
He tells us to look. You literally told us to look in the past to see what we should do, and that it's cyclical and that it's a
Yes.
necessity, but it's not. Because how is it a necessity? And we're closer to our own destruction than we ever have been before.
That's not
If
true.
we repeat the cycle, yes, it is. We
No,
have
it's
the
not.
ability to destroy
No, it
the entire world. And you're talking
We've
about you
always
want to
had
go
that
to war.
ability.
No,
No,
we
we
have
haven't.
not
Not the
always had
world,
that
but
ability.
ourselves.
We can destroy everything. We can kill everyone on Earth in the matter of hours. Do
It's
you
a marginally
understand
better
that?
way of
We
doing
don't
it than we had
have
in
we
the
don't have
past.
we don't have another cycle to go through. If
Genghis
we don't learn
Khan
from our
wiped out
past
far more
mistakes,
people
Genghis
percentage-wise
Khan
than
didn't
all
have
the
nuclear weapons.
in our
See,
history.
this is what I'm saying. You think that because we've done this before and that it's led to this point, oh, we should just keep going through the cycle, and that's not true. We don't have enough time. We don't have enough resources. We don't have enough solutions to our problems to go through another cycle.
We
Do you not
absolutely do.
understand that? No,
We
we don't.
absolutely do.
No,
Where
bro,
are they
in
at?
fact,
No.
he's trying to
Where are they
justify
at?
the cycle.
Hold
The
on,
solution to
hold on.
America's problem is the complete militarization of American society and the complete unitary
Why?
executive
wrong.
government.
You don't know what
You're
his
No, it's
wrong.
not.
solution
Is this
is.
You're
dude
You're
from
wrong.
like
saying
Star
this.
Wars or something? He's literally
Like,
talking
You
who
like
literally
does this
just
guy
tried to
think he
justify
is?
the cycle
letting
that
them all
you're
talk at the
saying
same
we
time,
can't get
Moses.
out of. You
Alright,
said yourself that we
Hold on,
can't
just
get
let
out of this cycle that you're saying we need
I
to go
can't hear
through,
anything
bro.
that anyone's saying. They're all
We
talking
are
over each
out
other.
of the cycle right now.
No, we aren't.
You're
No,
right.
we
I'm
aren't,
sorry,
because
JD.
no major
He's literally
Republican.
contradicting
Damien, be
himself.
quiet and listen
You're
for a second.
saying
No single
saying
republic.
to our
No single
Say
republic
what
in the
you
history of
have to
all right,
say.
guys.
humanity.
All right, guys. All right, guys.
Say what you have to say.
Contradicting yourself, bro.
Everybody pause. Everybody pause. Because like I'm so like
I'm sorry.
it's all good. Very
No, you're
very
not,
confused
Damien.
on where we at.
like a 6-minute timer. Give me and Prophet like a 6-minute timer.
Okay. So I'm gonna give JD and Prophet a 6-minute timer. All right. So JD and Prophet, you guys can go ahead. And George, I appreciate you being here. I know you want to get in on it. Give me. It's all good. Damien and George, I know you guys want to get on it. Just give me a few moments. Get JD and Prophet just a few moments. All right. Let's go ahead and put in a 6-minute timer for JD and Prophet, because it's I don't know I don't know Prophet. What you're saying sounds completely and totally insane. That we need to militarize our entire nation in order to conquer the entire planet. That's going to cause the deaths of billions of people, including exploiting our national debt, including causing oppression of people. Why would we do this? JD, go ahead, and then Prophet will answer.
Okay. So yeah, this is the reason I'm saying you're wrong. The cyclical nature, the we are nature. We can't have a collective consciousness. That's pretty much what you're arguing. You're arguing that no. Let me talk. You're arguing these things because you're completely denying the approach that we can have that actually comes with talking to people and exchanging fair resources and going about it like that. You think there's no other way than subordinating people for their resources and turning her and making and oppressing them with horrific examples? What does that do for the human race? What does that do for us? It does nothing. We
Can I
can't
respond
get
to your
into
point, JD, or are you just going to keep talking?
Go. You got it.
So I would say that there is not one major republic in the history of the world. There are a few tiny ones like San Marino. They're aberrations. There is not one major republic in the world that has lasted longer than 300 years. Not one major one. And we are right up against that mark. Republics and democratic forms of government inevitably collapse under their own weight into autocracy, which could be called a kind of mob rule. Now, it is 100%. Rome is the greatest similarity, the greatest parallel between us and them. And how did the Roman Republic end? With conflict and with the rise of Julius Caesar, one of the greatest men in the history of the world. So I would say Trump is a Caesarian type figure. I don't know if he's our Caesar per se. Well, prove me wrong. What republic has lasted longer than 300 years, sir? What major state?
This is what I'm saying. You look in the past and you think, oh, these examples mean that we have to repeat the same cycle. And I'm saying no. I'm saying we need to build a collective consciousness and stop the bullshit. All we do by oppressing is destroy nature and kill each other. And we don't have to do that. We sanction governments we don't like for no reason. And all that does is make them hate us, like the people in the Middle East
do now.
There are reasons. This is why I say that Ronald Reagan is at the crux of the problem, because when we actually had black figures after post civil rights movement that went to the Middle East and said, "Look at what Israel is doing. Look at what these Zionists are doing to these people in these lands." We didn't say anything about it, and we decided not to vote for them. When we decided to vote for the oppressor, and look at where we're at now. Now those same groups of people that we've been oppressing for 50 plus years, they hate us and they want to kill us. And now you're using that as justification for us to kill them and take their stuff. We are the problem. And this is what I'm saying. You don't learn. Yes.
So someone in the comments real quickly said the Roman Republic lasted 500 years. That's incorrect. They're forgetting Rome had a monarchy first, which was again, points to the parallels we have with Rome. They were a monarchy. They became a republic. They became an empire. And even till the very last day of Rome, they still would have considered themselves a quote unquote republic, even though they had long since had emperors. They had the democratic forms. The facade was still there, but the real mechanics of government had moved on. But to your point, JD, The reason it's cyclical is because what you're proposing has never been done before. There is no way anybody can do that. If they would have done it, or if they, more importantly, if they had wanted to do that, people would have been able to do that long ago. People do not want harmony. They want control. They want to be obeyed. They want to have resources, and they want to get in other people's business. That's why libertarianism and liberalism are such dangerous ideas. Because if you try to build your house in safety when your neighbors are maniacs, you're going to have a bad night.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. You just proved my point. You really just proved my point, because what I said is that we created the conditions for our neighbors to be crazy in the first place and hate us. That is my point, and that's what you want to do again.
No, that's the fundamental human condition.
Cut the shit. No, it's not.
Yes, it
is. No, it's not.
Do you have kids, sir?
We actively chose to do this. We actively chose to oppress these people.
JD,
no,
do you have
no,
kids?
no.
So,
I'm not even gonna. We're not. I'm not.
No,
even,
no. I'm making an apt analogy. The reason people don't let their kids with strangers is because they worry about it. Because strangers are, generally speaking, could be terrible people.
That's not
now anybody who let what?
It's not a. That's not an equivalency.
It is, because if we were. Oh, yes, it is absolutely.
There's a difference between resources and children. Of course, you want to protect your children. You don't know who is.
You want to protect your resources too.
It's not our resources. It's theirs.
Why not? Why is it not our resources?
Theirs, because it's their land. It's their stuff.
If we take it, it's ours.
And if we, this is what I'm saying. You're just
this
sick.
is what I'm saying.
And
so
look,
Prophet.
If you. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, JD. I'm sorry, JD. I just want to ask Prophet something. So, Prophet, you're okay with stealing things then?
Well, I wouldn't do it. Taking it, yeah. Stealing is like,
yeah, you're okay with stealing things. Yeah,
that's steal. Yeah.
All right, so so you're okay with stealing. You're okay with oppressing people. You're okay with causing mass murder and death.
I never said you can't.
You're saying how this makes you a horrible.
I never said mass unaliving, and
so
I never said that.
Hold on, proper. Listen. Everything that you're saying will lead to mass killing and death. Everything that you're saying will lead to environmental destruction. Everything that you're saying is you're basically saying theft. Let's go in there and steal their stuff. Everything you're saying makes you a horrible person.
I'm saying that's the default setting of the world, and we ignore that truth at our
default setting of the world is not being a horrible person. It's just not.
Yeah, it is.
No.
See, no. Okay.
History. Look at history.
This is where
one long story of
setting of the world's communication.
Hold on. I'm gonna say this one last statement before the time is up.
I got you, JD.
This is the reason why I actually added myself, because he said he tried to compare us to animals and said that and implied that animals aren't sentient, but they are.
I said the world's a world of
talk.
claw and fang. That was a subsidiary conversation.
You said
to
that before. You said yes.
That wasn't my. That was a different conversation. The world is a world of claw and fang.
You literally said that. The difference between our default settings and what we as humans are capable of is our ability to socialize and create symbols and things that we can all that our society is built on.
When has there ever been a period in human history where there's been a mutually agreed upon peace that hasn't been imposed?
There was been
right now
that hasn't been imposed.
It's imposed by us.
The last couple decades.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's called Pax Americana.
We don't impose peace.
We do indeed. That's what all these conflicts come from. That's where all these conflicts come from. All those neoliberal wars we're talking about are.
That's not peace, then.
That's my point. There's never been any peace. What you call peace is just hegemony.
But we don't need to be doing these things.
There's never been a time there wasn't hegemony.
Because we're doing it for no reason.
Wait,
there's a good reason.
I'm trying to.
What modern war have we fought in that was actually?
Can I jump in with you, JD?
Good?
Yeah. Actually, you can start jumping in now, Damien. But guys, we've kind of been here for a while. I do want to get to another guest in a few moments.
But you can drop me down. I appreciate you letting me say my piece.
No, I want Damien. I know Damien.
No, and the way I do it.
Go ahead, Damien.
I'm not like. I do, but I want to be able. I'm not the biggest debater speaker yet, so I don't want to interrupt you. I want to be able to speak too. Trump, you've been saying so many disgusting things since I've been talking to you. Straight up, you justified. You just said that if we take it, then it's ours.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Is that wrong?
You've been constantly
is that a wrong statement?
Saying that we can't come up from this.
Statement?
It is a wrong statement.
How so?
Yeah, because let me add on to this before you pivot. You literally have been saying this whole time that we can't do anything else, that it's natural, that we should do this.
No, we can.
You keep contradicting yourself,
Damien,
saying
that
the only way that we can get to peace. No. You're saying that the only way that we can get to peace is by doing this, by killing and taking millions.
I'm going to go if I can reply to this guy.
And you justified that by saying if we take it, then it's ours. Then
I said
because you've
that's
been
the
talking
natural
over people
condition
so that
of the
you
world,
can
Damien.
pivot to another point.
All right, I'm done.
So you can list that it's not though.
Prophet, let me
keep
understand.
saying that's a natural position.
He's still going on. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I got you, but I got you. Prophet. Prophet, let me
I'm saying a lot right now. You just aren't listening to
I got you.
See, I'm backing off of what JD said. How you're constantly saying.
Damien, give me a second. All right, so let me understand this. Let me understand something, Prophet. If I were to go to your house, steal your car, take your wallet, and take your ID and say, hey, I'm now Prophet. I can spend on this credit card because it's mine because I took it. Are you saying that that's my right to do, or I can do that?
That's the default condition of the world, I would say. And the only thing that prevents that from happening, from you doing that to me or me doing that to you, is we have a stronger power over us. You don't know what
the default condition of the world is us communicating right now.
Hey, let me just correct something.
I'm sorry. You're right. I
try
haven't debated
using a little less product.
All good. So, Prophet, why do you think that's what's stopping me? A bigger power over me, and not just my human empathy? Because
there's never been a time.
Hold on. Because we're all humans, right? We're all empathetic. You even brought up the thing about children before. I'm pretty sure you want to protect your children. You're not protecting your children just because they're your product. You're protecting your children because you love them, right? Just basic human love. Exactly. So us as humans, we have that with each other. People don't naturally want to hurt each other. Like, we've lived in a system where we didn't have governance before, right? That's happened in human society, and we're still here. We created governance because we just got too big. You know what I'm saying?
We created government to avoid that condition.
Right. We created governance because of like, farming and stuff like that. That's why we created governments. But before that, right, like, humans lived together and didn't have to have like issues with each other. We aren't out to all kill each other. If you put me and you on some deserted island, I think we're just gonna naturally want to murder each other. Or are we gonna try to say,
have you read Lord of the Flies?
I've read Lord of the Flies. What I'm trying to say is that,
bro, you're pivoting.
Shut up, Damien.
Hold on, Damien. I've read Lord of the Flies before, right? But what I'm saying is that in Lord of the Flies, what was the reason they started to go insane? The reason they started to go insane was because, like, they didn't know how to survive because they were kids? Or is it because we're all just 12-year-olds in this world? We're not all just 12-year-old boys in this world.
It was a metaphor for discivilization. And to go back to your point, why me robbing you or you robbing me, the reason it doesn't happen on any scale is because there is that level of force imposed over us. Because every time in history, when you see that level of overarching force taken away, people revert to a terrible condition. There's never been one time when authority was absent and people did nice things to each other.
Like, there's never been an anarchist society?
No, I want to say one more thing to that specifically.
Yeah, go ahead, Damien. But
thank you for letting me speak. Because
go ahead, Damien.
Keep going back to this one point. Yeah, you're right. But it's fine because you keep going straight back to that one point, that because history's had a problem where civilization has got so high, like Rome, like you said, that we can't move on from that. When the last 2 decades, if not longer, have shown that humanity has constantly been moving on from that. You keep trying to justify actions by saying that humanity can't move on. When
it's not true.
We right now, us talking is proof. Us talking is proof right now that this is natural human evolution and communication. Us talking and being able to process what each other is saying is natural. And I want to say one last thing to what
because we have a very strict order imposed on us.
If we put someone on an island, if you can look at someone and see someone get hurt and you could think, damn, I hope they're all right. Or you can think, man, I want to go help them out. That is natural human evolution right there. Because you can feel for something else. You don't have to know them. You don't have to even see who they are. But you can see someone and see that they're hurt, or know that anyone's in pain. And you can feel something or even think that, man, they could use something or they might be in trouble. That right there is human communication. That right there is the natural. That right there is the natural human order that you keep talking about.
Go to an island, Damien.
Right there, and I'm done. Thank you so much. Like, I'm not. See, you keep trying to pivot. That is pivoting right there because you have this thought in your head that nothing can change, bro.
Stop using so
When
much hate.
I
It'll be
am
better.
proof, and everyone talking here is proof that we are communicating to each other. And I'm done. I'm sorry that I got heated.
No, all good.
much.
I appreciate you. Definitely come to these panels more because you said this is your first time doing these things, but it's actually pretty good. But yeah, Prophet, I do 100% agree with Damien. Right, human beings can be good to each other. We can communicate. We don't have to be these wild animals that are all about killing each other. We don't have to do that. But we do have to move on, guys, because we've been here for about at least 20, 30 minutes. But I do appreciate you being up here, Prophet.
Let me give you a follow here. Take care.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and move on. Sandra, I do apologize. I had to put you on mute, Sandra, because it's just that your background was loud. But you can go ahead and get off mute now. If I'm not mistaken, you should be modded, Sandra. Who dropped? Oh, Damien dropped. Okay, Damien, come back anytime. All right. How's it going, Sandra? I only muted you because your background was a little bit loud. But I appreciate you being up here. All right.
Right. That's because I didn't know I was up here, friend. I
was
like, oh shit. I was like, my bad, because I'm doing all kind of stuff. But I figure, then I heard the dude mention the Lord of the Flies. And I'm like, bro, they were literal children.
They were children, yeah.
They're literal children. Like you comparing adults to children who were stranded on the island. And then by the time the actual grown-ups came, it was like, oh shit, these are like little kids. Like, I don't know. That was a wild.
Yeah, Lord of the Children. I'll say Lord of the Children. Lord of the Flies. It had a lot of themes into it, right? Like psychological breakdown, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because isolation that causes issues. Uznet, we'll get to you right now, Uznet. All right. George, I'm sorry, George. I do know you want to get onto the conversation, but did you agree or disagree with what I had on the board?
Oh, I was disagreeing. Well, I was agreeing with JD and Damien. Like it was just weird because the dude was sounding like, have y'all watched Invincible? He was literally sounding like the Bill Trim Army.
Like the Bill Trim Army, yeah, he was sounding just like them. I was wondering who does he sound like. He does sound like Emperor Thrag and them. Like that's
literally because if you keep going from country to country and taking stuff over, everybody's gonna end up revolting against you. And we don't have an army to fight, 7 billion people. We're only 300 million people, so it just doesn't make any sense to go about that way when humans are naturally communal. Like we're a communal animal. Like if you look back in the days before basic civilization, we stayed in large groups, like all cavemen and all that. They stayed in communities together so they can hunt together and get berries together and get resources together so they can build a community. And that's the way, because we can't, like, if you look at it, we can't fight nothing. Like all the bigger animals, like all the animals that we would have to go through and deal with to live and function in society, we are not big enough to do. So we had to, work together. And that's how it worked at the beginning of time until, I don't really know, because I didn't really look into like that part of the history of it, but that's just how humans are created.
Exactly. All right. George, I appreciate you. Stay up if you still want to talk about the subject. Uznet, I know you were I think you were disagreeing in the comments, if I'm not mistaken. We're gonna go ahead and talk to Uznet guys right now. He'll start off with me for a few minutes, and then Sandra and George, if you want to get in on anything that you disagreed with, you can go ahead. All right, but give me a few minutes with Uznet, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the floor. All right. So Uz, I'm gonna go ahead and put about 13 minutes on the clock. Are you at least 18, and what did you disagree with?
Disagree on some things. I agree with you on some things too, but I guess the thing recently I've kind of been coming to this conclusion that most of the people that are in positions, let's just use like big CEOs, Elon Musk, people in government, people whose names you saw come out in files, that and were blacked out and removed, and those people are being protected, right? And they're not playing by the same rules that we all have to play by.
Of course. And
we all are, as decent people in the world, try to play by those rules because we have empathy and we care about other people, And I think that you can't, like, if let's say it was me and you against Elon Musk and Bill Gates and we're playing Monopoly, and me and you are playing by the rules, but Bill and Elon are cheating. We're not going to be able to beat them. We're not going to be able to win,
of course,
because we're not playing by the same set of rules. And they don't view those rules the same way we do because they don't have to worry about getting in trouble if they break them. Nothing's going to happen to them. They may end up in some closed room and get embarrassed to one of their other friends who's done the same thing, and have to pay some money to somebody, but they're not going away. They're not going anywhere.
Okay.
And their power and control is going to stay right there too. So I agree, that we as humans need to care about people and do things that are going to be good for people. But we can't really do that when we have other people that are in power that are never going to let that happen.
Appreciate you guys giving me up to my gift goal. All right. So no, I agree with that, right? But that's why leftism, at least when it comes to governance, is all about stuff like antitrust, because Amazon and Facebook and a lot of these tech companies, they should have got broken up by antitrust a long time ago, right? That's one of the things that what's her name, the Senator Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, that's one of the things that she was talking about a long time ago. These big tech companies, they should have gotten broken up. You know what I mean? So this is something that the left advocates for. Would you agree with some of that?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. But I have, as a white guy in 2026, there are new things that people like me are facing, and I was my entire life raised to, we don't see color. And this family, we're not racist. We don't do that. I had to ask somebody one time, my mom, what certain words even meant, because I had never even heard them before. And I remember having racism explained to me and not understanding it. Like, what do you mean? Like, he just has a different skin color. Who cares? I did not understand it. And in 2026, a lot of things are now kind of backwards in that formula, And in my opinion, it as from where I've always lived, just my perspective on life, it seems to me like when as a whole kind of white, there's always outliers in everything, but just from my life perspective, when white people in general were kind of all starting to be raised that way, like, we don't see color, we're not going to do that anymore, and that kind of stopped working for them to keep us arguing amongst each other and not working together. They just switched it around, right? Like, okay, well, you guys have been getting shit for a long, long time. I'm sure you're boiling over with shit that you would love to give back to them. Let's just now make space for that to be allowed to happen. And they can continue arguing about this shit, and we still won't work together and stop them, and as they don't care which way it goes, as long as it doesn't go up, And I think these problems, it's easy to get angry, right? Like, I was just angry in the comments at some people telling me that I'm wrong and this and that. And it's easy to get angry about that stuff, but all that it really does is keep us arguing, right? And there's this guy who just launched, Spirit Airlines just went bankrupt. And this guy launched a campaign for the people to get together and buy Spirit Airlines. And in 4 days, he raised $437 million.
Which is kind of crazy, because like we can, like, all that could have been used for mutual aid for people who are starving and not people who are still going hungry, for people who are unhoused. He was able to raise $400 million to buy an airline, but not to actually help other people. Because if I were to put out there, let's go ahead and feed all the homeless in Florida, and I need $500 million, I'm probably going to get $20,000 by the end of 7 months. You see what I'm saying? So, like,
totally agree.
Yeah, that's what we need. So I think we agree mostly. George, Sandra, did y'all want to add anything? Actually, let me clarify something. I'm sorry, Sandra. Let me clarify something. I do see a comment from Onyx where she says, as a white man, are you starting to feel oppressed? Is that what's going on? Because maybe I didn't catch that. Do you think that there's a like racism or racial animosity towards like white men going on?
Yeah, I think like being racist to white people is trendy right now. Yeah, I kind of feel that way. But I don't know if I would say like oppressed. I just think that it's trendy to, it's publicly and socially acceptable to kind of, just be kind of shitty to white people, and nobody really says anything about it.
What is your I would say your general definition of what racism is?
I would say racism, prejudice could be another word for it, but just like the belief that the color of somebody's skin is able to tell you anything about that person.
Well, yes, but that's more about stereotypes. Racism is there's two definitions. There's the colloquial definition that we use in everyday life, and there's the academic definition of how it operates in society. Racism in the colloquial definition is just not liking someone of another race or another ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? Just not liking them, basically. Less hating them or believing you're superior to them because of their skin color, because of their racial makeup. That's the colloquial definition that we use in everyday language, right? Now there's the academic language, the academic definition of prejudice plus power, basically how it works in society. Not just, these people don't like us for a certain skin color, but also using the power position to keep them out of society, to keep them subservient, to keep them marginalized, basically. So that's why when people say that, the healthcare system is racist, the criminal justice system is racist, is not based on the fact that, every single cop hates us, but the criminal justice system, from the cops to the court, makes sure that Black people, and when it comes to the criminal justice system, especially Black men, are kept subservient and marginalized and oppressed. And when it comes to the medical system, that goes for Black women. You see what I'm saying? So that's what those are the two different forms of racism that we basically talk about. But when it comes to white men, yeah, sure, there are people out there, individuals who say that any individual white person or individual white man, I'm just gonna be shitty to him, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, sure, that there are people who do that, right? I don't believe that should be the case. But do you think, but saying that it's a trend in society to be mean to white guys, it reminds me of the saying, equality feels like oppression to people who've always been privileged. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think there's a trend of we're all just going to be mean to the white guys now. It's basically one of those things where, comedy punches up. You know what I mean? Straight white men aren't positions of power.
It's not jokes though. It's like, and it's I'm trying to just keep real cool, and I'm not even angry, but these conversations can get heated, and I just don't want anybody to get anything I'm saying twisted, but it is pretty prevalent now. When I get on my Instagram or TikTok and scrolling, if I scroll for 10 or 15 minutes, I am 100% guaranteed to see at least one or two people that are saying, the two letters YT is evil. They're trying to do this and they want us dead or this or that. I'm telling you, every day, if I scroll for any length of time, I am going to see it, and probably multiple times.
Okay, I got you.
It's a lot, and it's pretty full of hatred.
I got you.
I think
I think I can explain it.
Anger on both sides.
I think I can explain it. For example, when women say they hate men, right? I saw a comment that basically explained it to me, because I've always felt uncomfortable with that until I saw this comment, and then she explained to me, it was like a eureka moment. She says, listen, I have brothers, I have a son, I have a father, I have uncles, they're all beautiful people and everything like that. I love those men, right? So it's not that I hate individual men, but when it comes to men as a concept, that's what she has a problem with. And that's what clued me into when people talk about white folks, right? When people talk about white people, it's not about hating you as an individual. It's about hating the system that creates these type of, it's about hating white supremacy, hating a system. Me, I'm very, very careful about what I say, right? Whenever I talk about these systems, right, I don't say that white people are an issue. I always talk about white supremacy, because white supremacy actually affects you too. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always talk about more about white supremacy than white people. But social media language is always going to be white people, but they're not talking about individual white people. They're talking about the system that causes oppression. They're talking about a system that affects us all. They're not talking about individual white people, even though it doesn't seem that way. That's what they're talking about. Does that make sense?
Part of it too, I have had a lot of interactions with police that have been extremely bad. One time I got in a hit and run. I was on my way to school. Somebody hit my car and dipped off. And so I called the police and said, hey, I just got in a hit and run. I'm on my way to class. Can I come to the station after class and just report this? They're like, yeah, that's cool. Mm-hmm. So after class, I called my mom and said, hey, I have to go to the police station. I don't want to go here alone. Can you come with me? Mm-hmm. So she came with me to go up there and report it. because I'd had other instances before this too. So we were up there just to report this hit and run. We're standing in the parking lot. No police were there actually when we got there. So it's like an empty police station. We were just standing in the parking lot. When the police came in to come talk to us, they came flying into the parking lot, slammed the brakes, stopped about maybe a foot from us, jumped, like me and my mom both jumped in opposite directions to get out of the way of the car. They jumped out, started drilling me with 21 questions to the point that I was so nervous, I forgot how old I was. They were like, what's your name? Where are you from? What's your age? I'm like, 21. They're like, you don't know how old you are? All kinds of shit, right? By the time we left, my mom was crying. And when we got in the car, she was like, I swear I thought they were just going to arrest both of us. It's not about your race. It's just about how are you of this certain age? Do you look a certain type of way? Maybe the cops think you're a punk kid, whatever. But from your point, if you're a black person living that life and you're being messed with like that, it can feel like, yeah. And I'm not even saying that it's not true that it doesn't happen. But what I'm saying is that it happens to everybody. And that when you try to say, no, you're wrong, that never happens to you. And I have life experience that's the opposite of what you're saying. That helps to fuel the anger too, right? And as long as we don't work together, that's the goal. You know, just don't let them ever fix this and work it out.
Can I cut in real quick?
Yeah, of course. Let me just say this one last thing, because I do want George, Sandra, and I'm sorry, what was your name? Improv?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Improv. I'm gonna let you guys get on this because I have to put something in the refrigerator real quick. But this is what I want to say, Ooze. Of course, there are people out there, and white folks out there who have negative interactions with police. I don't think anyone ever denies that. But when we look at the entire criminal justice system on who has a higher rate of getting violence,
they get it worse. I would agree with that. Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. I don't. If someone ever says that no white people have ever had a negative interaction with police, that person's just being illogical. I don't think anybody would agree with that, right? It's just on the fact of the treatment and how the system treats you. Like a poor white person and a poor black person. A poor white person may still be getting treated better, even though they still get treated like shit. But Improv, George, and Sandra, you guys can go ahead. I got to put something in the kitchen real quick. You guys go ahead. Whoever wants to go first.
I just wanted to say that, I mean, in my personal opinion, I haven't seen anyone discredit the fact that, other people, other races go through the same things with police. I just feel like we are trying to put more on notice that the fact that it happens more to more black people at a disproportionate rate. Like we can see it with exoneration rate. Yeah, like we can see it with exoneration rates and arrest rates. Like if black people are actually getting or doing more crime, then it would be then we wouldn't be the most exonerated race of people, and we wouldn't be targeted as much. Like over policing doesn't even help because you're not stopping crime. Policing doesn't even stop crime before it happens. It really just protects property. So at the end of the day, it's like just protecting property and not really benefiting. It's really not even beneficial to society. And I feel like that's at least when I say stuff like ACAB and stuff like that. It's more of the over policing is a general issue, and police just have too much general power to do whatever they want. Like we can see that every day. Like I can show you examples that I see every day of police just abusing power and having too much power to begin with.
Yeah, I guess I'll just chime in to say the thing that really got me earlier was this whole notion of color blindness, which is not a thing, does not benefit people of color. Like pretending that our struggles aren't real, that our experiences aren't real, and that we're all the same doesn't help anybody because we're still going through it. It just affords you the privilege to pretend that it's not happening. This whole notion of, white men it's cool to make fun of white people. It's always been cool to make fun of white people. Always has been, always will be. You're just more aware of it now. There's a literal movie called White Man Can't Jump, and they talked about how shitty you guys are at basketball. That's in the 90s.
I'm talking about making fun of them. I'm talking about being really racist too.
Let her finish. Go ahead, Sandra.
always have, always will be. The fact of your feelings getting hurt is not on the same level as Black people losing their lives. Like, you might feel mediocre.
I'm sorry, Sandra. I'm sorry, Sandra. I'm sorry.
Yes?
You got muffled a little bit. I'm not sure if the
muffled.
Yeah, there you go. That's a little better. You're muffled a bit.
Okay. Sorry, my headphones suck, you guys. I need better ones. Hurt feelings are not the same as hurt bodies and lives lost. You know, like the intrapersonal issues that you might have, usually it's, oh, 5 Black kids stole my bike, they chased me down the block. Like, all of these intrapersonal anecdotal experiences where a Black person was mean to you is not the same as having the institution backed up by your bigotry. As Volsi stated, you got to have the power behind the words, behind the mean taunts, behind the chants, behind the teasing. The police system that does target Black people, because more Black people are arrested during the day or pulled over during the day when they can see who's actually driving than at night. Like, these are facts. And then George talked about the exoneration rate, 50%, because people are over police and on trumped up charges, and they're arrested more, not convicted, but just arrested more because of racial profiling. So your race very much does matter. Yeah, like, to say that, oh, I turn on social media and someone's making fun of a white person, that hurts my feelings. I turn on social media and another Black woman is dead. Another Black man is dead. Another Black kid
Lady who
is
got stabbed in the neck on the bus.
Over and over again. All I'm saying is, and this has been going on for decades, hundreds of years, like, it's and it's not to say that your feelings are invalid, because everyone wants to cater to how the white man feels, but it's not the same, bro. It's not the same. And I don't know if you're trying to play like oppression Olympics or whatever, but it's not the same. There's a whole website called Black and Missing, because the media does not care when we go missing. We had to create our own website to put a spotlight on when our children go missing, because they do not get the attention they deserve. They are trafficked. Right now, someone's being trafficked. Right now, we will never hear of this little girl. Never knew who she was, never will know who she is, because we don't get the attention that we deserve. It's not the same.
And just to go off, like, cause he started mentioning the Ukrainian woman or girl who was stabbed in the neck on the train, and I would understand that point more if, one, the guy didn't get arrested immediately, and two, that guy was not in a position of if the guy was in a position of power. Like, the fact that you could compare that is like just kind of silly to me, because we're talking about police murdering people, and police are like federally backed government entities, as opposed to one crazy guy on the subway. And he got arrested. Like, we see police get off easily. We see police just have to, lose their pensions and stuff, as opposed to losing their life, like what happens to us.
I just love that while everyone is talking, he is literally in the comments crying about what we're saying. But before that, no. Now it's my turn. I waited for you to talk. No. It's my turn right now. No. It's my turn right now. No. It's my turn right now. It's my turn right now. I let you speak. Now it's my turn.
It's improv turn.
No. It's my turn to speak. I let you talk. No. It's my turn. I got you like a 5-year-old. I will. No. It's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn to talk.
Everybody, go ahead. I'm sorry. Improv, go ahead.
Okay. Ignoring that fact, first thing I want to talk about, you talked about how you was raised to ignore color. On the surface, that's great, but really that's just cute, because as Skeptical already said, that's ignoring the history and how society treats people. Not just like people like me, but like how Asians, Latino, and Jewish people are treated. Ignoring color means ignoring how people are treated and affected. That doesn't help nobody. That just says, hey, I'm blind to how shit is. And my favorite thing is you're talking about what you see on your feed. The algorithm is what you look at and what you hit like on and what you comment on. See, hold up. I pause real quick. Literally, look him in the comments right now. He's not even listening to me. He's busy fucking typing in the comments. Again, which is my point. Like,
sorry,
again,
Prof.
Skeptical already said it. Like, Skeptical already said it. He is not here to listen. He is just wanting to cry because no one are not saying nice thing about white people. And like, although, like you said, when we say white or when you say men or women, we're not talking about all of that group. We're talking about specific ones. But a lot of people like this person. When you, like, if I say a white guy, they automatically assume them because the old saying is a hit dog will holler. And there was someone in the comments who literally brought it up when they said white culture. He immediately replied to them. See what I mean?
Yeah.
When I say white culture, I'm talking about the KKK because I'm not talking about Irish people. I'm not talking about the Spanish. Because guess what? White culture also attacked them too. But people like him are not there to listen. They just want to go, how come we're not being nice and kumbaya? Because life doesn't treat us that way. And instead of recognizing it, they just want to cry victim. I'm not gonna lie. The only reason why I came up here because I wanted to talk shit about the guy. Because I was reading everything in his comments. I'm just like, oh, great, it's one of those.
Yeah, he just has a very childish way of thinking. Not seeing color is like really, it's honestly more harmful than it does anyone any good.
Yeah, Uzna, you ain't had to leave. I mean, we were giving you the information. We was educating you on how this works. I think because I think you were taught not to hate people of different colors, but you also weren't taught, how systems of oppression and discrimination actually work, which is what we're talking about here. But if you want to go ahead and leave, go ahead and leave.
And then he's talking about like comments and stuff. But I just seen on Twitter the other day, people were talking about black people in Japan like they were Viltrumites, like saying that we got bigger bone or higher bone density, naturally stronger muscles and all this. He said, one dude even said that I feel like a black woman just because they're bigger and stronger than me, they can knock me out with one punch. They're literally talking about us like we're Viltrumites, and it's like, how many black people do Japanese people see on a daily basis to make these claims?
Yeah, they don't. I remember seeing that. It was like, oh, I've never had any bad interactions with the black people who live in my neighborhood. They're always nice and smiling, but it's still scary. I said, what the hell? What are you saying? What was crazy about that Twitter thread is that there were other Japanese people roasting them for it. They was like, what are y'all talking about? This is so stupid. That was hilarious, bro.
I just seen it just made more sense to me really because I just seen somebody say that like right wing people and all that will just base their opinions off of black people, off what they see on ads and TV and stuff, and not have any actual interactions with black people or the black community as a whole, and just make generalizing assumptions based off of what they see on Twitter, which is like honestly the worst thing you could do. Like just getting straight propaganda from the propaganda source.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get your opinions on Twitter. That's always a bad idea. It's always a bad idea to get your opinions on Twitter. But hey, guys, let me just go ahead and do this really quickly. I did miss some super chats from a couple of folks, so let me go ahead and bring them up. All right, so Resist has been a member of my YouTube for a month. I appreciate that. Resist, thank you so much. If you guys want to be a member, go ahead and go onto my YouTube. Membership start at only $1.99. I will appreciate if you would like to be a member. And a $2 super chat for Collapse. She says, but I can do all caps in here. Yeah, I have a rule over on the chat of my YouTube that we cannot do all caps. Only the mods can do all caps. And Collapse has become a mod now. So of course she's talking her shit. She says, she said, I don't see color, but dude is green or yellow. I remember that joke when they said, why are white people mad that we're only one color? When they blush, they're blue. I mean, when they blush, they're pink. When they're cold, they're blue. When they're sick, they're green, but they're mad at us for being one color. It's pretty funny. But hey, Collapse, I do appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody who's up here on the board right now. Let me see if we have anything else. All right. We don't have any more guests in the box now at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and let the YouTube know. Over on the YouTube, if you're watching me from the Deconstruction Junction, You can join on the live. The URL is right there, tiny.cc/Volsi live. You can join me there over on Volsi Thoughts as well. If you watch me from Volsi Thoughts, tiny.cc/Volsi live. You can go ahead and join me there as well. If anybody would like to debate or have a discussion, I may bring up the phone number again, but when I had the phone number, people couldn't hear each other. That's the only reason that I don't do the phone number. But if I'm able to ever figure that out, and we will go ahead and do that. But for the time being, I'm probably gonna be here for another few minutes, and then we could go ahead and get out of here. But do appreciate you, George, for being here. You're a great addition, and you as well, Improv. You guys are a great addition. I appreciate y'all for being here. Make sure y'all follow Sandra. Sandra, you a mod, right?
I am not a mod.
You're not? I thought you were. I could have sworn I made you a mod already.
It's my aura. I give off mod aura.
Yeah. Probably do get a mod aura. Q King, you have the question marks in the comments. If you would like to come up to discuss or have a debate, go ahead and I invited you up, and we can go ahead and have the discussion.
I was gonna say I'm ready to talk some more. Y'all got me amped up.
Yeah, man. You guys should come whenever I do the religious discussions, man. Those get pretty heated. But I'll be live with Black Atheist Rants tomorrow, so y'all definitely come by for those. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, I just followed you, so I'm gonna definitely come back tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's funny, Volsi, because I know I don't normally do the whole politics thing, but I like sitting on both religious and political debates because I see it intertwining. The guy that was like, "Oh, well, that's just the way it is, and people are just evil, and everyone's so bad." That sounds like Christianity to me. That sounds like your heart is desperately wicked, and everyone has fallen short, and everyone's a sinner. It's like you have this lens of everyone is so depraved, so we're just gonna take what we can when we can.
It does,
like, bro.
And another thing. Whenever I do the religious lives, especially with Bar, when we do Black people should not be Christian or Muslim, I have heard from a few people talking about, oh, why you don't want Black people to be Christian, and that was something that came up before, right? But I think my main goal is to decolonize Christianity. Basically, if you're going to be a Black person who's going to be Christian, I can't stop you, right? But decolonize from it, because a lot of the denominations that Black Christians follow, none of them started in Africa, like at all. Yeah, I mean, none of them. Like if Christianity was allowed to spread in Africa naturally, I've always said it will look like revivalism. Like if you look up Jamaican revivalism, my wife introduced me to that as a matter of fact. If you look that up, it's supposed to be Christian, right? But it's super Africanized. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, if that was the way that if that was the Christianity that we had today, I probably wouldn't mind it. But the Christianity that we have today is super colonized. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think we don't need or shouldn't have. And now that we just can't even show it to be true. So that's another thing. All right, guys, we do have someone over on the YouTube. Shmel, is that your name over on the YouTube? Shmel, can you hear me? Give me a second, y'all. Make sure he can hear us. Hey, Shmel, you still there? I saw you come off mute. Let's invite Uncle Porky up. Uncle Porky, go ahead and come on up. We can go ahead and have that discussion if you think I need Jesus, because I don't think I need a carpenter wizard. Okay, well, Shmel dropped out. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, Shmel dropped out. Not sure what happened there, but Shmel dropped out. I'm not sure why. But Shmel, if you would like to come back up, go ahead and come back up, y'all. Tiny.cc/Volsi live. You can go ahead and come up if you like. But yeah, what do you guys think of that? What I just said about decolonizing themselves from, or decolonizing Christianity if they are going to be Christian?
I absolutely agree, because our people were basically forced into Christianity while they were coming over here. Like, we came from all the eastern or all the west coastal African nations, and none of them practiced Christianity before 1600s. And we have documented proof of what they practice, and none of it even relates to Christianity. And during the time of slavery, we were also not able or allowed to read Bibles, to read what they were truly saying to us, and they used it as a way to like further submit us into what they wanted us to do.
Yeah, exactly. How about you, Improv? What do you think?
I agree. Mainly because, as pretty much you guys stated, it's just like we were forced to follow their way, and like how so many Black people in this, especially in America, we follow it their way and not even try to either go follow ancient traditions or at least try to come up with our own. Because I'm not Christian, I'm polytheistic. I talk to my family all the time. I'm like, y'all talk shit about white people all the time, but you are very quick to follow it the way they do.
Very quick, right? Why does Schmel keep dropping out? My goodness, I was gonna get to you next, Schmel. Oh my God. Why do they keep dropping out? I don't know what's going on. Hey, there he is. All right, he's back. I'm not sure what keeps happening. Hey, Schmel, go ahead and test your mic for me, please.
Can you hear me? Test.
Yeah, I can hear you. Like I'm okay, cool. I don't know why you kept on dropping out, man, but we're good now. All right, Schmel, thank you for coming up. You're probably gonna be my last guest because I'm gonna be going on 2 hours. All right, Schmel, are you at least 18? And did you disagree with me that leftist policies are better for society?
Yes, I disagree on. Yeah, like I'm 18, and I disagree that all leftist policies are beneficial for society.
Okay, cool. Pause me real quick. Everybody on my TikTok, did you guys hear him?
I did.
You heard him? Okay, cool. Schmel, did you hear that? Did you hear him say that he heard you?
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so you guys can hear each other. That's all I needed to do. All right. So cool. You said not all leftist policies. Which ones do you think would not be beneficial for society?
The rejection of hierarchy. Like, I think hierarchy is a thing that's always necessary, no matter what society, no matter what time. And I think without hierarchy, we basically are just animals.
I mean, humans are already animals, right? But the thing is, when it comes to hierarchy, I think in a certain way, there's always going to be some sort of hierarchy. Like if we have kids, we're basically a little bit more powerful than our children, right? We have to discipline them, guide them, etc. So like that type of hierarchy will always exist. But when it comes to society, yeah, toxic hierarchies are become a problem, especially in systems such as capitalism. We see what happens when that's the case. But unless we're talking about going into complete anarchism, everyone understands there's going to be some sort of hierarchy. We just want them to be like what's that? Not responsible. What's the word I'm looking for? Accountable. That's the word I'm looking for. We want them to be accountable for their actions, and that's what leftists aim for. And you will think that's not a good thing?
I disagree that in a system where we have a rules-based system, the rules are already there to stop it. And I think in American society, it's possible to actually convict people who do bad stuff. But the willingness
I'm not
of
sure what you're getting at. Yeah, I mean, I don't think leftists will get rid of that. Like, so what do you mean?
Like, what do you mean with the accountability of politicians? Like, technically, every politician can be held accountable. I just don't see how it changes from left wing to right wing. Like, it's the same position.
I mean, no, when we look at the politicians now, they're not accountable to us at all. They're accountable to their shareholders and their billionaire donors, right? They don't really care about what we want, because I think the American society has been saying for a long time, for years and years and years now, let's do single payer, and they don't want to do that. Right. So like, even though they give us lip service, they've never done it. Yeah. I mean, the only one saying to actually do it, has a plan for it, is Bernie Sanders, and I think AOC. You see what I'm saying? So is like, that's just one of the examples. There's lots of things that Americans would want that if the 1% goes against it, it doesn't happen. So then they're not accountable to us. We're saying that the leaders should be accountable to us instead of being accountable to the billionaires.
Hey guys, what's up?
I'm sorry, who just
jumping a little bit late. My bad.
Who just got up, Zach? Yeah, Zach, give me a second. I'm still talking to Shmel, and
okay.
we'll go ahead and let you jump in. But yeah, Shmel, does that make sense?
Like, I understand what your point is, but technically in a democracy, accountability is all given. You have always the choice to vote them out. Was it the choice of the Republican? Like, was it forced on them to vote for Trump? Was it forced on the Democrats to vote for Biden? I don't think so. Like, you always had the cards in your hands. You just voted for the wrong guys.
I mean, yeah, it's not but the thing is the point is that no one is forced to vote for those people, right? I get it. You're not forced to vote for those people unless you think the two-party system is basically forcing us to vote for people. Then yeah, you kind of are. But when it comes to then what we're saying is that these people should be accountable to us, and we need to get rid of lobbying and things like that, or lobbying the way that it works. We need to reform that entire system so they'll be more accountable to what we would like instead of what the shareholders say or the billionaires say. Does that make sense?
I understand what you say, but isn't the system made that change can happen if you invest like time and your political influence into it? What I'm seeing right now in America is just people are trying to get some kind of social change, and when social change on the right happens, they are not happy. When social change on the left happens, people are not happy, and you're basically stuck in a loop of right-wing politician gets in office, left-wing politician gets in office, and both are unhappy.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is though, like the policies that I would push for from the left, I think would make more of us happy, such as single payer, and not need to worry about a hospital bill that's gonna cost $20,000-$30,000 or something like that.
Like I said, you have the means to vote for politicians that are for your that can do such things. I see that it's not always easy to get it, but you need to organize on a smaller level or like on a basic level to get to your political stance.
Agreed. So which is why Zohar Mamdani winning in New York was such a big deal, because that's exactly what the type of politicians that we would like to see. Of course.
Yeah, and I think in the system of America, it's just working. You're just not happy that it's happening not fast.
Here's the thing, though, Shmel. We're not really talking about the topic here. You're simply saying that all these like all the policies that we want, we have to vote for the people who will get into the system. I mean, yeah, sure. The people who say that they will vote for these things, they say that they will, right? Then when they get into office, all the money that they get from lobbying, they turn against those. So the issue is money in money in the system. It corrupts. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, what we're talking about is, would certain policies be good for society? You're saying not all of them. And when I ask you which ones, you're saying get rid of hierarchy, but you can't really get rid of hierarchy in the first place. Some sort of hierarchy is going to exist. But what are we? That's not really a policy, though. You know what I mean? There are leftists who are for prison abolition. Are you talking about something like that?
Prison abolition. Yeah, I think the abolition of prisons is not inherently good. I could agree that privatization of prisons should be banned, but
definitely definitely should be banned. We should not have encouraging imprisonment. I think for profit, I think that should definitely be banned. But when it comes to abolishment of prisons, what it really is basically abolishing a system of carceral punishment and slavery, essentially, because that's what a prison system is in America. Matter of fact, that's what it is in most Western industrialized nations, basically slavery. So yeah, that should be abolished, and the people who do commit crime should be rehabilitated. We should focus more on rehabilitation than just punishing them.
But is it not what's called?
From the research that we've seen, it does work. Like the Nordic countries focus much more on rehabilitation than just punishing them, and they have some of the lowest recidivism rates on the planet. You know what I mean? So we should focus more, and I think it's been done in America too, where a system that focused more on rehabilitating the person and bringing them back into society and giving them a chance to actually be part of society. Because having a felony on your record makes your job prospects worse. And we're saying that we should get rid of that. That shouldn't be a thing where simply being a felon is going to keep you from getting a job. Now, of course, there's certain type of felonies where you can't work in certain places, right? Like if you have a felony for abusing children, we're not going to make you a teacher, of course. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody agrees with that. But we should focus more on the rehabilitative part than simply punishing them. And those who can be rehabilitated, like I think a lot of people would say that someone who commits a premeditated murder, someone who commits a premeditated like rape, or even rapists in general, they need to be separated from society completely. You know what I mean? And put them in a long-term facility where they're not going to be part of society because you're out here just violating people. But the point of enslaving those people is something that they're saying that we don't want. Does that make sense?
I get your point, but prison is not only for rehabilitation. It's also for the punishment. It's for the betterment of society.
Right, and that doesn't work because it doesn't actually create a betterment of society. They just reoffend. Because like if we focus so much on punishment and not on rehabilitation, that all they know is punishment. And when they get out, what happens? They reoffend.
So you won't agree that punishments can deter from crimes?
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But what we're seeing right now, the way that we're doing it in America is not. We have some of the highest recidivism rates, so obviously the way we're doing it is not working.
Yeah, I get your point. The incarceration of certain groups of people in America should be changed, but I still don't really agree that that's like a complete leftist position. It's basically
it is. The conservatives don't care about rehabilitation. They just want to throw people in jail, let them rot. As a matter of fact, I've met plenty of conservatives who says that people should get the death penalty for every single crime. Like it's insane the way that they want. They don't really care about rehabilitation, like at all. Matter of fact, they say that they think that crime is an issue of like just a internal moral failing instead of one of like systems, like poverty and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can agree at this point. Yeah.
All right, cool.
But
let me ask if any of the people on my TikTok has a question. George, Sandra, did y'all have anything for Shmuel?
Oh, I was gonna say basically that the way that the prison system is even designed now is like it's just not beneficial to society. Like Volsi was saying, it just creates a system where, but like it's like by design. Like non-violent offenders are treated the same way as if I commit an armed burglary right now or attempted murder, all these things, I have the felony record slapped on my name and all this. I still can't get a job. But if I have 10 grams of weed in my car and I get pulled over, I get treated the exact same way, as well as I am now a slave to the system. However long I'm put in the jail cell, and because of the 13th or 14th Amendment, I can't remember exactly which one it is, but you're basically you're no longer a person once you commit a crime. And I mean, it's by design that they do this, but it basically just needs to be, because I don't even think it's like, I can't find a reason that it's generally beneficial except for extremely violent people, and you wouldn't really have as many violent crimes, or you wouldn't really have as many violent crimes without the system being designed as it is.
But isn't it like a deeper societal problem and not really divided on political line? It's basically where you live. Like, I don't know how it's in California. Is the prison system better in California than in a red state?
I mean,
either way.
Yeah, it's either way. All the prison systems in America are pretty bad. But California has the most racialized prison system out there. Like it's kind of crazy out there in California.
Yeah, like they have some of the worst ones. But then
I think I see the main problem is just the societal change that people need to do is just isn't happening. Like it's more basically like I said before, you need to start at the bottom level of governance, vote the right people in that advocate for these policies. Like
no, we agree. We agree. I've always said this all the time. Yeah, we gotta start winning elections. On the left, we gotta start winning. I understand how much electoral politics bothers a lot of leftists, but we need to start winning elections in order to get people in power, in order to get these policies passed, at least in a lower, at least in a local level. Yeah, we agree with that, right? It's just that overall, these systems, we need to point out how horrible they are and that we need to change them. Sure, we can start at the lower level and work our way up. No one disagrees with that.
Yeah, like I also think like the main problem is not really the prison system itself. It's just the repercussions from society itself. Like, yeah, you could do laws that if you are punished for like a non-violent offense, that your work environment can't discriminate against you at this point. But I don't know how to convince people about that. Like,
well, I'm not sure what you're trying to get at. Yeah, give me 1 second. As a matter of fact, Sandra, did you have anything from any questions?
Well, what he said just then, it's like I don't understand this. Like, it is the prison system itself.
Yeah, it's the prison system. Are you saying that like society doesn't have enough political will to change the prison system? Is that what you're saying, Schmiel?
Yeah, like if you say that the right-wing people don't want to have the rehabilitation of prison inmates, it isn't the real problem of the prison system, because the prison system is only the representation of the people who voted for it, or created it.
Yeah, and that's why there's people advocate for prison abolition. We need to tear the entire system down and rebuild it.
But complete abolition is like the most extreme part of the thing. Like, you could start at a point that you can't discriminate just because you're an offender, a small crime offender. Like, I don't know.
No, but Shmuel, when it comes to prison abolition, they're not saying that tomorrow there's going to be no cops, no judges, no lawyers. No one is saying that. We're saying that overall, gradually, we're going to move away from a system of carceral punishment and more restorative justice. Like, it happened gradually. It's not gonna happen all at once.
Yeah, I think it's just it's way too easy to frame you as like you want to abolish all the prisons if you call yourself prison abolition. Like, it's the whole point about politics is visibility and perception of the people, and I think it's more easier for people if you just say reform of social contracts or from people who got incarcerated.
I mean, yeah, we can yeah, sure, we can say that, right? But we've been saying that for years, and
it isn't changing. Yeah, like,
can you give me a second? I'm sorry. Zach, you've been patient, Zach. Zach, are you at least 18, and did you disagree with what I have on the board?
Yeah, I'm 18, yeah.
And you disagree with what I have on the board? If you swipe out, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's more of just the whole, like, specifically social issues.
Gotcha.
I'm more of a contention with.
Got you. Pause for me real quick. All right, Shamil, I do have another guest. I'm gonna go ahead and move on now, but I do appreciate you. All right.
Okay. Have a nice day.
You as well.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and talk to Zach now. Hey, Bodak, I did see your comment in my TikTok chat. Just give me a quick moment, guys. All right, so if anybody wants to join in on a debate over on YouTube, you can join here, tiny.cc/Volsy Live. I've given several people the link already. Y'all all talking in the comments, but you don't want to come up. So tiny.cc/Volsy Live, that's where you could go ahead and join in. Bodak, I did send you a request to go ahead and join the join the debate. You said that leftist policies have kept black men down. Let me know what you mean by that, because sounds crazy. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and talk to Zach. Zach, you said that you are over 18 and you did disagree that leftist policies are better. It's the social policies that that you disagree with. If I can take a guess, is it abortion and LGBTQ?
Well, to be clear, I'm not saying I'm like for like fiscal so policies within the left, but I have more of a contention with the social policies.
Okay, so you're fine with universal healthcare.
Sure.
And you're fine with investing into more of our public transportation system, so have more buses and trains and stuff like that.
For the sake of the debate, sure.
Yeah. And you're okay with maternity and paternity leave for people to spend time with their children.
Sure.
Okay, cool. And you're also okay with guaranteed housing. We make sure that homelessness doesn't happen.
Sure, all of it. I'll grant all of it.
All right. So those are you grant that those are better for society, but you think that LGBTQ people are somehow bad for society.
Well, you didn't even let me really get into, but about all the other things, I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm just saying I more have a contention with the social things. Like if you wanted to advocate for those other things you listed, I wouldn't really have a contention with it. I'm more saying social things I have a problem with.
All right. So what are the social things?
Well, LGBTQ, can I say AB? Can I use the full word or do I have to say AB?
You can say abortion. All right. So
okay,
so
abortion, transgenderism, all of that stuff, horrible.
All right. So so being gay is somehow bad for society. How?
Well, I haven't really been provided with anything that would demonstrate why it would actually be even a neutral for society.
Because there are people who exist.
No, they exist, but they're not doing anything that's good for society.
They don't, but they're not doing anything that's bad for society. They're neutral.
Oh, HIV isn't bad.
Can a straight person have HIV?
Yeah, but homosexuals make up 70% of all HIV cases.
Yeah, because it's easier to pass it because of the sex that they have.
Okay, so how is that good?
But that doesn't mean that HIV is because of gay people.
Of course not. I'm saying, but because they contribute to 70% of HIV, how is that even good? How is that even neutral? That's bad, I thought.
No, but it's not because of gay people.
But I'm not saying it's directly because of it. I'm saying
all right, so
because of the activity that they do, they contribute to 70% of it, which is bad. Can you acknowledge that that's bad? Yes or no?
No, but what I'm saying is that
is HIV bad?
HIV is a bad thing. What I'm trying to say
and they contribute to
70%. Hold on,
of
Zach. HIV is a bad thing, but just because HIV is a bad thing, all STDs are bad, bro. We all understand that. STDs are bad, right? You agree with that?
Yep.
All right. So 70% of the activity from homosexuals, it's hold on. Actually, homosexuals represent 70% of HIV cases. We agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. How about stuff like gonorrhea and syphilis?
Well, I don't know, but any of those sort of anything transmitted from any sort of sexual activity is going to be higher within them because of the type of behavior.
Syphilis and gonorrhea is higher among straight people.
I understand that, but
see what the hell? Look, bro, if you don't want, just don't have gay sex or put on a condom.
I'm not saying that. He asked me why to be clear, he asked me why I'm opposed to it. I could go down the whole, it's just my preference route, but I'm going down
weird. It's weird.
It's very strange.
You don't want to have gay sex, don't have gay sex.
Well, that's not a good argument that it's weird. Therefore, I should say why I could just say it's weird that you're for it. I mean, that's not an argument.
Have gay sex.
I'm not saying I would advocate for
you don't want to have gay sex.
Wait.
I didn't say that. He asked me why I'm opposed to it, and I demonstrated that 70%.
Everybody pause. Listen, Zach, we understand that when it comes to HIV cases, about the majority of them are amongst gay men, basically. We all get that part. And that is a travesty. We need to go ahead and try to lower those cases or try to get rid of HIV in its total. That doesn't mean that being gay in of itself is negative to society.
Wait, can we just, to make sure that we're on the same page, okay? HIV is bad. They make up, and I'm not completely attributing it to them because they're gay. I'm saying it's because of the action that they're participating in. That, and if straight people were doing that as much, I would say that's bad as well. We acknowledge that's bad, right?
But the problem with your argument, Zach. Hold on, wait. The problem with your argument.
Answer.
Hold on, listen. I'm showing with the problem with your argument. The problem with your argument, if you were to say that being gay is bad for society because they make up the majority of this STD spread, you will also have to say that being straight is bad because we also represent the majority of another STD spread. But you're not saying that.
But do they do that? Wait a minute. So out of 10 straight people, how many of them actually have that?
Have what?
For 100? Any of the other things you're attributing to them?
For like it depends on the STD that we're talking about.
Do you think
when
it's as high as homosexuals?
Hold on.
I don't think it is.
Hold on. When it comes to herpes, for like it depends on.
I don't think it is. All straight people have herpes.
Majority, yeah, I think a good half the planet.
80% all straight people.
No, the 70% of gay people don't have HIV.
I didn't say that. I said they're attributing to 70% of all of the cases, though.
Yeah, and when it comes to the majority of the cases of herpes, we're about 70% of that.
Of course, I'm saying that in the sense of if I had 1,000 straight people, right, and I had 1,000 homosexuals, what percent of those homosexuals have ever had any sort of sexual transmitted disease? And then look at the straight people, what percent have they ever had?
They're gonna be equal.
It's not going to be equal.
It is going to be equal.
That the thing they're doing is way high. And also,
hold on, hold on.
Wait, can I finish what I was saying?
Wait, hold on.
If anybody,
let me try to understand what you're saying. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Are you focusing directly on HIV or all STDs? Which one?
We can do anything. I'm saying that if you,
all right.
What
So
was the other ones you listed? What was the other one you listed?
Zach. We got to get clear here.
You don't want me to talk.
I'm gonna let you talk. But we need to get clear. We gotta get clarity, bro. We're throwing in a whole bunch of stuff. You started with HIV, now it's all diseases. Now we can do either or. We gotta get clarity. When it comes to if you take 1,000 people, straight people, and talking and 1,000 homosexuals, are you talking about all eight? Are you talking about just HIV or all diseases?
Yeah, we can do any disease.
Okay.
Homosexuals.
If you're talking about, hold on, wait. So that's what I said. What I said is correct. If you're talking about all diseases. You're talking about all STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. If you take a heterosexual population and a homosexual population, it's going to be around equal because we also spread STDs, gonorrhea, syphilis, genital warts, herpes. Those are mostly through heterosexual sex.
It's true. I'm just out of all of those other ones you mentioned, which one is the most prevalent within straight people? Which one happens the most? I'll just give you the one that happens the most.
I think herpes and gonorrhea. If I'm not mistaken.
1,000 straight people. I don't know if you know the statistic. 1,000 straight people. What percent of those people have ever had herpes in their entire life? And then 1,000 homosexuals. The highest. Would you agree that the highest transmitted sexual disease within homosexuals is HIV? Okay. What percent of those homosexuals compared to what percentage of those straight people? You think it's the same exact percent?
It'll be around like 25, 30%. It'll be around equal.
So you think 30% of straight people have had herpes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's look it up. Do you want me to look it up?
So I got a question.
Yeah.
Why would people being gay and having HIV, why is this bad for society?
Why is HIV bad for society?
No. That's not what I asked.
Well, that's what you said.
That's not what I said. Why is people having HIV bad for society?
Well, again, it could transmit to other people, causing health problems. I don't think health problems are necessarily good for people.
Can straight people spread HIV?
Yeah, I'm not saying they can.
Okay,
I'm saying it's
so
more
the
prevalent.
the argument is nonsense then, bro. Because if you're saying if you're saying that being gay is bad for society because of HIV, straight people can also spread HIV. So the entire argument doesn't follow.
Yeah, they are making up 70. They're making up. Do you know what percent of freaking dudes are homosexual? It's not a high percent at all.
Not a lot.
They make up 70% of it. I'm not saying. And first of all,
they make up 70% of the new cases. But you know who else makes up majority of the new cases? My community, black people. Are we bad for society?
Okay, I'm not. First of all, you're trying to attribute, like, for instance, your skin color. Like I said, you brought that up. I'm not saying that therefore it's bad because that's your skin color, or therefore it's bad because they're homosexual. I'm saying the thing that they attribute to it is bad. You asked me why. What do they attribute to it?
What do they attribute to it? HIV is bad for society.
70% of.
Okay, so Zach, I'm not tracking at all. Zach, hold on.
I don't think you are tracking.
Zach, I'm not, because your argument is stupid. I asked you, we started off this conversation by the social stuff, right? And I said, what social stuff? You said LGBTQ and transgenderism. We said, okay, let's go with LGBTQ first. You said 70% of, hold on, you said 70% of HIV cases out there are homosexuals. And I said, okay, how does that make being gay bad for society?
Because how can you have gay sex without doing it that way? Gay intercourse without doing it that way? How?
There's preventative measures and there's contraceptives.
Yeah, and it's still there's with straight people, for instance, you can say this, right?
Volsey, I apologize.
Volsey.
Zach, if you do
you
not
don't want me
want
to
it,
talk? Okay.
you don't have to take it up the butt. What
I'm not
people
saying
do in
that.
their
He asked me
beds-
why I thought it was
listen,
wrong,
Zach,
and I'm describing why.
Listen, Zach.
Are you for
Linda.
HIV? Just out of curiosity.
Listen, Linda. What happens in people's bedrooms behind closed doors does not impact society as a whole. You have yet to explain how people having intercourse with each other has an impact on society as a whole. Because as Volsey just stated, everyone's spreading STDs. You know who's spreading the most? Fucking old people in retirement villages. STDs up the wazoo.
Wait,
all right, Zach, it's 2026. Let people finish. You so worried about bedroom activities. Let people finish in 2026, Zach. What people do in their bedrooms has no implication on society as a whole. If you're so worried about spreading disease, were you for vaccinations? Were you an anti-vaxxer? Did you stand 6 feet apart? Did you wear a mask? Do you still use hand sanitizer? I still use hand sanitizer to this day. I go in a store, I come in my car, I squirt some hand sanitizers on my hand ever since C-19 happened. Are you that worried about any other communicable disease that's happening, Zach?
Well, they're not as
SMEX
prevalent.
shouldn't be one of them. People having SMEX with people who they love shouldn't be an issue to you. It does not impact society as a whole.
What about
You
incest?
don't
Do you
get
have a
it.
problem with incest?
You don't get it. You don't get it.
Do you have a
Zach.
problem with incest?
You don't get it, Zach.
You just said you don't have a problem with people have
Zach.
consensual
You
sex,
just want
but
to
do you have a problem with
police.
incest?
You just want to police
You're not answering
people's
the question.
bodies, and now you're throwing shit at the wall.
Are you okay with incest? It's consenting adults in their bedroom. Are you okay with incest? I'm just curious. Are you okay with it?
No,
Can you answer the question? You can't answer the question.
Okay.
Can someone answer that question?
Okay,
Anybody?
Zach. Zach, because you want to gish gallop, I'm gonna
Wait,
go
can
ahead.
someone answer my question, please? It's a very simple question.
Zach.
You don't want to? Okay.
Zach, you need to learn how to have a conversation, bro.
Well, hold on. I've
take a beat for me. Be quiet for a second. Take a beat for me.
Talking.
Take a beat for me. Be quiet for a second. Be quiet for 5 seconds for me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, cool. That means you know how to have a conversation. You know when to be quiet. All right. So hold on. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second, guys. Sorry about that. Give me one moment. All right. So Zach, you being quiet for that 5 seconds shows me that you actually know how to have a conversation. You know when to be quiet, when to let people go, and stuff like that, right? You know how to do that. Cool. So to answer your question, incest, I find it gross. Completely gross. I won't do it. However, can other people, a brother and a sister, do that in their own time? Sure.
There it is. That's the answer I wanted to hear. There it was. So here's the problem. Can I answer now? Since I let you talk, I'm a good listener, right? I let you speak. Here's the problem. When it comes down, when your whole argument comes down to it's gross or why do you care so much or just let people do what they want, that means you have no problem with incest. You have no problem with consensual murder. You have no problem with any of that. Why would you have a problem with anything if it's just letting people do what they want?
There's no such thing as consensual murder, number one. And number two, I have a problem with rape. And especially I will allow abortions for issues such as rape and incest. And if
that
incest
has
happens,
nothing to do with my point.
Yes, it does. When it comes to when it comes to incest, yeah, sure, I find it gross. No one says you can't find gay sex gross. You can find it gross all you want. Go ahead, find it gross.
It's not a good argument, right?
Right. Oh, what do you mean it's not a good argument?
But no, to say something's gross isn't a good argument, though, right?
Yeah. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Or you don't.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't get it. What are you talking about?
Okay, so for instance, if I were to say homosexuality is wrong because I think it's gross, that wouldn't be a good argument, right?
No, it wouldn't.
So why can you say incest, or you didn't say it's wrong? So I mean, that's my whole point. Your friend here was saying, or also to finish what I was saying about it, the whole argument that your friend made was that if it's just two people minding their own business in their bedroom, who cares? Or if it doesn't do anything to you, who cares? There's so many problems with that.
Yeah, same thing with incest.
So why would you care? Why would you care about suicide either?
Why would I care about suicide?
Yeah, people just don't want to live anymore. Why would you care about that? It doesn't affect you.
It does affect people. Well, yes. Sandra doesn't care. I care when it's people of my own family.
Unalivings.
Okay, so about that family thing.
Listen, there are
just interrupted me.
Permit me. Apologies, because he is really trying to play at people's emotions to police people's autonomy. In the Netherlands, they have these little pods in the middle of the woods that you can go to when you're ready to just end it all. And that shit is dark as hell. But guess what? Bodily autonomy dictates that they can do that. Will your family be sad and hurt? Yes, absolutely. Death is sad. Death is painful. But as a person, you shouldn't have to keep living for anybody else, especially if you are dealing with some horrible, incurable, insufferable disease. You're going to suffer through that just for the sake of other people to watch you suffer. You have no clue what people are going through on a daily basis. So if people want to self-unalive in a regulated way, go the fuck for it. Who are you to tell people how to live their lives? That's the problem that we're having right now. Mess, gross, ick, don't like it. But guess what? There's a whole family of inbreds living up in Appalachia somewhere, minding their own fucking business, not bothering anybody, because not everyone is going to do that, Zach. Not everyone is gay, Zach. The human population will continue to live on, Zach, regardless of how you feel about what people do in their bedrooms. This is an asinine argument. You just want to come up here and spout your bigotry and police people's autonomy. It's weird. Yeah, there it is. There's your bigotry. Surprise, surprise.
You said something I wanted to kind of. So you said something. I don't want to forget it. You said something interesting.
What?
You said about your family, right? You said if someone within your family did that to themselves, you'd feel sad, right?
And of course, I would. They're my family.
Okay, so if my son comes out as gay, right? And I'm like, this really affects our family. Our family can't deal with this. Do you have a contention with that? And we say, no, you're not going to act like that. You're not going to act on that. You're not going to bring your boyfriend to Thanksgiving dinner. Would you have a problem with that?
Yeah, because you're imposing on somebody else.
And you are as well.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
If your friend, if your daughter wanted to off herself, you wouldn't tell her not to?
I would. Yeah, I would.
So you're imposing on her.
No, I'm not.
How are you not?
No, not because when suicide and sexuality are not the same thing.
Okay, can you demonstrate how you wouldn't be? You made the argument you're not imposing. You are imposing. You're saying don't do this act, and I'm saying don't do this act. What's wrong with it?
Because the act that you're talking about is something that's innate within the person. Suicide is not.
That can be in. Okay, so you're also. If
no,
your daughter,
this is stupid. We're not doing it.
It's stupid because you can't argue against it.
I already argued against it. What you're saying is fucking stupid. Being gay.
No, you didn't. You just said you don't impose it.
Dumb person. Being gay is
there. It is.
Moron person. Being gay is innate within a person. Suicide is not. False equivalence, my guy.
Why would it be?
People are not naturally suicidal. People are born gay. You're not born suicidal.
Why would that make a difference?
It makes a difference because being gay is part of who somebody is. Being suicidal is not. Suicidal is an issue. Suicidal, it does make a difference because suicidal is a psychological issue. Not an issue of identity, not an issue of sexuality, not an issue of orientation, not an issue of personal social schema. That's not what suicide is. That's not what being suicidal is. Hold on, shut up. That's not what being suicidal is. So trying to equivocate them is fucking stupid. Of course, if someone wants to commit suicide, wants to end their existence forever, everybody would, people who care about that person and who will be affected or hurt by it will try to stop that from happening because we want to see them live a long and happy life. If someone is homosexual, they can still live a long and happy life.
But you just said it would affect your life. You just said it would affect. Well, you keep saying it's stupid. Not an argument. Listen, can I talk?
No, it is. It is not. Go ahead and move on. Hey, Life. I do apologize, Life. I know you want to get in on it. didn't you?
Hey, host, thanks so much. I'm here to say something to him because it was getting so ridiculous. And I wanted him to know, for one, that there's a medication called PrEP to prevent HIV. Not that easy to get, actually. It's something that happens deep in the body, and you can't just catch it from someone, you know. And I think basically his entire argument was that straight people are inherently better than gay people. That's what I was hearing.
That's basically what he was saying. Yeah.
And it was just ridiculous.
Sorry if I crashed a little bit on him, but he just came to be a bigot. Like, full stop.
Yeah, full stop. Hey, Stella, go ahead and come up because she said that people aren't born gay. The study is clear on that. No, it's not. According to the studies, we know that being gay isn't a choice. They're born that way. But we're gonna see if Stella comes up. If she doesn't, then I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. But yeah, Life. Thank you so much. I know you want to get in on it. I'm sorry I didn't. I didn't let you get in, but it was.
That's okay. I was just hanging out in the comments, enjoying myself, and I was like, "Wait, I have to say something." So yeah, thank you for bringing me up.
Not a problem. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here in a few minutes. Listen, let me just talk to the YouTube real quick, guys. I'll be right back. All right. So over on the YouTube, especially on my channel, Volsy Thoughts, there's been one person that's just been crashing out in the comments. I've invited you up several times. Oh, here's one person that's gonna come on the stage. All right, man, I'm gonna get to you in a second. I've invited you up several times. If you're gonna go ahead and it's Beige and what's the other guy? SD comments. All right. Manny over here on the YouTube. How's it going, Manny? Are you at least 18? And did you disagree with what I have on the board? Manny, please come off mute. I'm gonna unmute your mic real quick. Manny, you're up on the stage. Did you hear me? Hello, Manny. Unmute your mic, please. Otherwise, I just got to kick you from the studio. Manny, hello. All right, Manny, come back when you figure out. Before we go ahead, the call line is right there. Randy over on Deconstruction Junction. I'm going to go ahead and give you the link. All right, Randy over on the Deconstruction Junction. I just dropped the link in the chat. And yeah, please, if y'all been here for like hours, all right. So if you actually want to have the discussion, have the debate, I already dropped the link. So go ahead and all right. There's Manny again. All right, Manny, did you figure out?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, so like I don't have an issue with gays or anything. I'm looking at it from a biological standpoint.
Cool. Pause me real quick. Okay, cool. Yes, all right, so man, let's go ahead and go through the pieces. I appreciate you being up here. You're live on my TikTok. We have George and Sandra on my TikTok. They're gonna talk to you as well. You'll talk to me for about 10 to 12 minutes, and then you'll talk to them. All right. Are you at least 18?
Yes, sir.
Are you at least 18? And what did you disagree with?
I'm more than 18, yes, sir. Mm-hmm. And my position is that, well, as creatures, everything is designed with a purpose. Just like eyes, they're designed to see. Ears are designed to hear. Everything that was created has a intended purpose. So now when you see the body parts, these also have a intended purpose. Now, due to we being born into a fallen state and a lot of things got screwed up with the nervous system and fleshly adhering to societal perversion, then these kind of things build into the genetics of the people. So now the thing that is most crucial is that this is what we call the animal stage. In the animal stage, it must be corrected, disciplined, and trained in the way that it should go.
Okay.
So now
So
the animal, when it's go ahead.
All right. So several issues. Number one, there's no evidence we're even designed in the first place. Number two, if we are designed, is clearly a very bad design because I wear glasses, so I guess I was designed faulty. But number three, so we can't go with the design because it just sounds ridiculous. But number three, you realize that there are animals who are also homosexual, right? That do homosexual behaviors. That happens in animal kingdoms as well.
So, and this is what I'm saying. This is animalistic. Now, humanity, higher human thinking, it thinks consciously and it reflects. And it uses the body properly in which it was designed for. Just like you got eyes, although you can't really, like you say, see perfect 2020,
here's the thing.
you are looking out of your eyes. Go ahead.
Manny. I completely reject the design argument. We are not designed. We evolved. There's no evidence of any design.
One thing, sir, that let's not even say designer. Let's just look at everything that exists, and you can tell what its purpose is for.
How do you know our purpose is for
Here.
Hold on, Manny, stop real quick. How do you know when it comes to our quote unquote purpose that the purpose isn't for some people to be homosexual and for some people to not be?
Well, because biology, it says what it's supposed to be and do. You don't try and eat with your ears. Why? Because it won't happen. It's not biologically designed and set to fit in.
Who says biologically we're designed? Who said biologically
just like your
designed to
anus?
do anything? That's the question right there.
You don't even have to think about this.
All right, but that's
your body would naturally do these things.
But the thing is, Manny, there are animals out there who also do homosexual things. So even according to your
we're human.
And hold on, Manny. You said nature. So in nature, if this happens in nature, and humans are a part of nature, that means that it's part of our nature as well for some of them to do that.
So this is where your confusion is, because human is a concept in which you're actually doing something to qualify as humane human. Human is the consciousness. This is the reflective side of the human animal that actually guides him in a way it should go. Now, this is now where you have the ability to think and reflect deep and make comprehensible, intelligent thoughts to your situation. This is now when you refine and you think and then you get down to precision.
I got
to rise above the animal.
Manny. What is any of this telling us, bro? Like, I'm not sure what you're even saying at this point. Why is being gay even wrong? What's that do with the topic? Leftist policies are better for society. Do you agree with that? Leftist policies are better for society. Leftist policies are better for society. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Some are, some not.
All right, and I'm assuming that the not that you're saying is for LGBTQ people to have rights?
No, I'm saying to promote it like it's a healthy choice,
but it's not a choice.
The wrong thing.
It's not a choice.
I'm saying that
Manny,
a person,
Manny, it's not a choice.
And this is what I'm saying.
Manny, hold on, brother. It's not a choice, bro. It's not. They don't choose to be that way. It's not a lifestyle. It's not a choice. It's not something. It's not some lustful thing that they're going against design. They're simply that way, and that's it. They can't change it. Like I can't change what my skin color is. They can't change it. It's not a choice. So, what do we do with that now?
So now let's just say, then we're in a fallen world. We're in a fallen system.
What does that mean?
And the only way to actually rise to the only way to rise into your humanity and over your animal state is to practice humanity in a way where you're going to now be able to control your impulse, control your animal state, control how you feel about certain things. You can't be impulsive driven your whole life and expect to be a conqueror of your animal state.
But that's
your
not what
animal
being gay
state
is, bro.
meant to be ruled, and you're not meant to be ruled by it.
Manny, this has nothing to do with being gay, bro.
It's being ruled by lust that
Manny, listen.
incontrollable.
Manny, listen to me. That has nothing to do with being gay,
Think
bro.
about this, sir.
Manny, hold on, bro. Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Everything you're saying has nothing to do with being gay, bro. Gay people control themselves all the time. That's nothing to do with being gay, bro. Like literally nothing. And when you say this is a fallen state, a fallen world, what does that mean?
We're being told the narrative from a society that doesn't have the correct blueprint for you to actually exist in a humane state.
What does that mean,
Humane
bro?
and human
Manny, what does
is
that
the
mean,
same
bro?
thing.
Manny,
This means you have to be consciously being able to see clearly the truth. You have to be honest with yourself.
Okay, so Manny,
you got to be able to be dignified and holding.
All right, so I got to meet you real quick, Manny. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Gay people can do that. They can be humane. They can live in society. I'm not sure what we're getting at here. Like, what are we talking about, bro? I'm so lost. And of course, my guests over on TikTok are going to want to talk to you about this. But I'm very, very lost on where we are here. What is happening? Because gay people can be humane. So what is going on? I need us to get to an actual like formulation here. What are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about?
What I'm talking about, and you're a perfect example of the animal domesticated state. You've been trained to follow these unprocessed impulses, and you follow that order. So you're scripted, and now you never rose to your conscious state, which is your humane state. This is why you can't even understand conscious.
Manny, brother, what the fuck does this mean? I'm so lost, bro. Like, what does any of this mean? Hey, George, Sandra, over on my TikTok, do y'all understand anything he's talking about? Have y'all kept up?
No, I don't got nothing. He's saying no, bro. It's not making any sense.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, George. He wants to talk about Christianity, but this is clearly a politics. We're talking politics.
This total biology, though. This is not Christianity. This is looking at nature and flesh in its animal state, and then looking
at right in terms of biology either, though.
Listen, Manny, you can't say that. Oh, it's nature. And then when Volsi points out homosexual behavior in nature, you say, oh, but we're humans and we got to rise above that. You can't have it both ways, all right? You don't know anything about biology, all right? Just let it go, Manny. How does leftist policies like leaving gay people alone affect society? Just leave them alone. Just let people live.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I have to keep muting you because you keep going on and on and on, and we have no idea what you mean or what you're talking about. Because I'm so lost, bro. Like everyone here on the panel right now is very, very lost. What are you talking about, bro? When you say you have to rise above and understand consciousness and the skies and the moon, where are we going with this? What the hell are you talking about, bro? What does any of this mean?
Not to mention morality is highly subjective.
So you're born first in a very reactive animal-like state. It's total reactive and survival mode. So this is why when somebody approach you, you growl.
Are we being trolled?
This is why when you're
yeah, I think we're being trolled, y'all. We're being trolled right now. Ain't no fucking way. I'm sorry, I got to kick up. Are we being trolled right now? He said, when you're bored in an animalistic reactive state. Yo, I'm sorry, I had to kick, bro. When somebody approaches us, we growl. What the hell is happening?
Does bro think we're pit bulls or something? I'm confused.
Oh my god, this is insane, bro. This is insane. Hey, Caddy, I appreciate you coming up. I'm sorry I brought you up last, man, but I'm gonna get out of here soon. But yeah, shout out to Caddy. Yeah, I remember to follow Caddy. He has a lot of information on Hinduism, and it's really, really great. Caddy, let the people know what you do, bro.
So I try to teach people who are interested about Hinduism, the pluralisticness about Hinduism, because we have many different philosophical schools, some spanning from atheist to monotheism to polytheism to a little bit of both, to monism to non-dualism to certified dualism. And so it's a very Hinduism is very deeply pluralistic in that sense, and we kind of look at it as many paths to the same mountain. And I do a pretty good job of explaining that from the philosophical way that atheists kind of lean into, like Advaita Vedanta, to some of the traditions. Advaita Vedanta.
Sandra, let the people know what you do, please, because I'm about to get out of here. I'm sorry, I'm letting everybody close. Sandra, let the people know who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Yeah. I also host lives, mostly deconstruction lives, Saturdays, 11 Eastern, and pop-ups randomly throughout the week. I also make music, y'all. You can find me on anything: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music under Skeptical Sandra. Thanks for having me, Bossy.
Of course, awesome. And George, let the people know where to find you, what you do. You be going live too, because if you do, I'll go ahead and pop up on sometimes.
I don't go live on here. I don't really, try to build a following on here. I just go in here to scroll. But I really just go live on Twitch every now and then. I'll be playing the game. But I am very passionate about my political beliefs, so that's why I joined this conversation, because I heard what y'all was talking about.
Gotcha. And I appreciate you. You were up here when Prophet was up here. That was a wild one. That was a wild one. But hey, man, I appreciate you hanging out with me this entire time on their Twitch, on their TikTok, whatever they do. You guys are amazing. Over on my YouTube, shout out to the new mod Collapsism. Thank you so much, Collapsism, for keeping an eye on the chat. I appreciate y'all. If you think that what I have on the board is ridiculous or nonsense, again, I always drop the link so you guys can come up and talk to me. I have so you guys can talk to me, and we'll figure that part out. If you're watching me over on a Deconstruction Junction, thank y'all so much for being there to watch me there. Y'all are awesome. But we are going to get out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a good night. Once again, I always say I'm going to be starting the lives on deconstructing the red pill. So I'm gonna start those deconstructions live as well as soon as I can, because we need our young men to deconstruct from the red pill. You agree, George?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How about you, Caddy?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think uncolonizing the mind is very important.
And I know Sandra agrees. Don't you agree, Sandra?
So you ain't even gotta ask.
Yeah. So the live that I want to do is gonna be a space for men. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a male space, heavily men. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't mean that women aren't welcome, but it's going to be a conversation in between us so we can deconstruct from these toxic beliefs. And self-improvement is important, right? But self-improvement at the cost of hating women, at the cost of hating our LGBTQ community, at the cost of oppressing children, is just not worth it. It is not worth it, y'all. We need to deconstruct from this entire ideology. Andrew Tate lied to you, okay? Cavicular is lying to you. Kevin Samuels lied to you. So we need to deconstruct from these things. All right. And hey, y'all, I appreciate all y'all for being here. Follow me. Love y'all. Y'all have a good night. All right. I appreciate y'all.
You too. Take care. I'll be in here the next time y'all.